Taxes time, everybody.
Taxes time.
Okay, hold on.
Patrick, by the way, you have a YouTube channel, right? The Twitch, sorry, Twitch channel. You stream on Twitch, right?
Not as I tried. Yes, I do have a Twitch channel. I tried doing the whole dual streaming thing with Restream.io, where I stream there at the same time. But I have like 4 people that follow me on Twitch, so like,
Storm chasing is massive on YouTube compared to
Storm chasing is huge on YouTube. Twitch, nobody watches that shit.
Yeah.
So I kind of
when you're choosing platforms, you kind of got to pick and choose which platform you main.
Yeah. So I focused on my YouTube channel.
You know what? I just realized one thing. Beyond storm. I think you're beyond storm chasing. On here.
On YouTube, I'm on.
No, Twitch.
Oh, I think I don't even remember what I'm on Twitch anymore. Hold on. I think I went back to using my real name on Twitch. I'm Storm Chaser Patrick IRL.
There you are, Storm Chaser Patrick IRL. Because I think I can put it up so that you are are listed as part of the stream on Twitch. So,
oh hell yeah.
I think I sent you both an invite. I should do it. Huh? Yeah, they don't need to stream. And it's basically now on Twitch it shows that I would stream together with Zep and Patrick, so that their channels are linked, and everyone knows they're here.
Yeah, I have a pretty. Yeah, I might not have that many subscribers on YouTube, but like the watch hours I have on YouTube for my live streams. I mean, I had 2 live streams last year break 1,000 concurrent viewers. That's pretty good for YouTube. So yeah.
Also, streaming VODs make a lot of money, especially if they're long and people watch them through.
That's true.
Which
some people.
The community is very big on watching through the storm chasing stuff because it's easy to put in the background.
Mm.
Yeah. The thing I get a lot is people are like, yeah, I just will put on one of your old, streams and like fall asleep to the sound of, rain hitting your windshield and thunderstorms. I was like, all right, well, I know what my audience is. Sleep to the sound
okay,
of,
so
Zep
is storm chasing. Oh, Zep is in here. Nice. It sent you an invite. I think you just need to accept it, but you don't need to stream.
Did I get an invite? Where's that gonna show up for me? If I did get an invite, where would that appear?
On Twitch would it be, I think, if you're on your channel or in the creator dashboard. Where was it again?
Okay.
It's just a message like, hi. But
what it also does is it should show up as a notification on Twitch, on your Twitch page. Also, I believe it does merge the chats, I think.
It does merge the chats. If Patrick was also streaming as in that moment, it would merge the chats. Right now it is just like, hey, you're also in this stream, and so people can actually be like, oh, I can click on that channel. And boom, I know who you are.
Cool. Well, it says I'm on.
Then it should actually have... Okay, we have this, then I can leave here. Perfect. Yeah, sorry for all of that. I just I realized there is this function, and I should probably enable it because, yeah. Also, yeah, if you think, wow, storm chasing, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, you can probably follow Patrick on Blue Sky. You probably will post then when you are live.
My blue sky chasing is my blue sky is increasingly unhinged lately. But
I mean, I totally get you.
My latest one was picking apart that melted milk is back campaign that Donald Trump's been running with his recent like weird RPG like pixel like look, it's all AI generated, but I just want to note that the barn that he was standing in, like all the cattle in there, those are all bulls. So like, is Donald Trump milking bulls? Because that would be kind of on brand for him, honestly. And,
you
like,
need
if you look
to
at the
keep in
inventory
mind,
bar on the left,
bulls maybe have less places that produce milk, but it's a much thicker and richer milk.
Sure, we'll run with it. But like, also, if you look at his inventory bar on like the left, he's got a jar of milk there, and I mean, like, look, Donald Trump, absolutely the kind of guy who would be drinking milk out of jars, but he's also clearly got a can of. It's either it's either a can of Red Bull or a Red Dog beer. One of the
you
two,
don't
because the
know.
cans look very similar.
Oh no.
But like, I don't know if you've ever drank beer immediately after drinking milk before. I made that mistake once before. You know that shit curdles in your stomach?
I know.
Yeah, whatever. So like,
Patrick, okay,
I can't help but wonder if Trump even has a stomach, given all the Diet Coke he's had in his life.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, no. He's chugging Diet Coke on like, I mean, Diet Coke is fine. Like,
it's fine. I like it.
It's fine.
Diet Coke right now.
It is just probably everyone will just bitch like, is Diet Coke or Zero Coke better? And the answer is Zero Coke has more artificial sweeteners, so it tastes better. that's it. They just added another artificial sweetener.
Depends on the artificial sweetener. Like,
it's a slightly different sweetness taste, and that basically just makes it.
Aspartame is what they use. Which
no. Diet Coke uses aspartame, okay, and Zero uses aspartame and another one that has a slightly different taste, and this just makes it taste better and more like normal sugar.
What does your Pepsi have for sweetener?
Pepsi. Oh, let me look what the Pepsi has. Okay, so it has aspartame and acesulfam K.
Yes, I don't know which one of them, but it tastes bitter to me.
Well, that might be the Pepsin that you're tasting.
No, Pepsi alone, like normal Pepsi, is fine.
Oh, you've got a Diet Pepsi or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's Pepsi Zero I drink because you know.
I have heard that Pepsi Zero is that people tend to enjoy that more than normal Pepsi.
Yeah, but like I think what her problem is. Yeah, I think what her problem is that the other artificial sweetener besides aspartame, it might be something genetic that makes it taste better. You know, similar to how coriander can taste like soap.
There's also also like Pepsin has a very specific taste to it, which is like the main ingredient for Pepsi that makes it taste different. And so it's very easy to understand why people would not enjoy that. Like even I get turned off of that flavor sometimes. It's very much like am I in the mood for this
I'm talking specifically about the bitterness because normal Pepsi I have no problems with.
You know what? I just realized one thing I really want to try with Pepsi right now.
Okay, pickled onions?
Yes.
Okay.
I have pickles in there. Pickled onions.
Of course she does.
Right. Hold on. I got derailed here. So, what do you guys guess? How much money do you think I made with my YouTube channel with 3,300 subscribers that got... How many views did I get this year? Hold on. And yeah, I streamed something like... I streamed 500 hours this year. That's a lot of streaming, by the way. And hold on, I'll give you a view count. I don't know, whatever.
Are we
500
talking
hours.
10?
Well, we're talking dollars. We're talking a dollar amount. How many dollars do you think? Hold on, let me give you an idea of how many views.
I'm thinking like 10,000.
Hold on, let me give you an exact number.
Because I think I get a sense that you probably got a lot from AdRev.
Hold on, let me give you a views number just to maybe help inform that a little bit more. I need to. I don't use YouTube Studio much. The analytics dashboard is cursed.
It is.
It's always trying to. It kind of sucks. Let's see. Because you can't just find a. It's not easy to get just a straight number on this. Okay.
Like, I'm not sure, but I heard that YouTube.
I got 300,000. I got 300,000 views in the last year.
That's okay.
I don't know. I'm aware that YouTube pays shit generally, so my guess is a few hundred.
That's actually a fair assessment. I'm also unsure. You know what? Fuck it, I trumped that 21,000. I'm balling high.
Oh, okay, 21,000. That's definitely a number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
you repaired cars. I don't know how much profit you made, but you were able to bankroll cars. I think you have 3 Subarus. Yeah. Again, when do you start?
You have no idea how. You have no idea how little I paid for those cars. I buy car. Look, when I buy a car, like for me, 100,000 miles is like a new car. Like most of my cars have over 200,000 miles on them. Yeah. I'm down to 2 cars now, by the way. But anyways, I pay like $1,000 for my cars. Okay, so the grand total here, according to my 1099 miscellaneous I got from Google, total amount of money I earned was, drum roll please, exactly $666.
Damn, I highballed the way high.
Hail Satan. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was gonna say. I made $666 from YouTube ad revenue. Now, my paid sponsorships that I got from that, you guys will recall, I did paid sponsorship from for a camera company in China to do promoted paid sponsorship over on Xiaohongshu, which I couldn't monetize that platform because it's in China and that was running ads over there.
Foreign income is really tricky.
It really is tricky, but I did get paid. I did do sponsorships. So, as you can, how much do you think I made in my sponsorships?
That's probably a few thousand to a degree. Sponsorships are usually more generous.
Yes.
I'm assuming you made more than what you got in ad rev.
Yep. Yeah, substantially more. And this is not including if I subtract the electronics, because if I add the electronics in, this number basically triples. Let me get the exact amount since I'm in here. Actually, I will include I made $10,606 from the sponsorships. So yeah,
wow.
And then if I include the all the electronics that they sent me, if I go just by the market value of all the electronics that they also sent me this year, that goes up to $19,000. So
yeah, we were both correct. We were both somewhat correct.
Yes, technically somewhat correct.
Also, yes. I mean, thanks to great leader Xi Jinping, Patrick has income.
Now, if we subtract all the vehicles I totaled this year. Now, now that I'm calculating my expenses, though, let's go through and take a look at this because this is the funny part. The actual profit I made on all of this, if we take away the losses from losing 2 vehicles, all the money I paid just on the software I used to stream things on my radar software and stuff, reduced my profit on this all the way down to about $3,000, which is. Look, it's still a profit though. That still counts.
It's a profit.
Are you paying for a satellite internet connection? Stuff like that?
I couldn't afford a satellite internet connection. The funny thing is, if I paid for a satellite internet connection, that would have been exceeded that $3,000 amount. The entirety of this year, I couldn't afford to put because the only satellite connection you can afford, or the only satellite connection that actually works currently, is Starlink. And boy howdy, I don't want to buy Starlink.
Yeah.
There's no viable competitor to them. Hughes kind of offers a satellite service, but doesn't really work. You kind of have to be stationary for that to work.
You're listening, Garmin? This is your chance.
Yeah,
I say that, but Garmin is notoriously bad.
Yeah,
they're also evil. Yeah, I mean,
they don't pay. Don't pay Starlink. Yeah. By the way, if everyone wondering, my pickled onions in Pepsi are good. They're just not. You know what I just realized? I probably should make them next time with white vinegar to make the, zing sharper in the Pepsi.
As a Pepsi fan, I don't understand the Pepsi and pickles thing.
It's good. It's genuinely good. But also,
to be fair to y'all, I don't like pickles. I don't really like anything that's been pickled.
Yeah, I will say though, my onions, they're like really, really delicious on their own, because like actually made them with rice vinegar, because that's more sweet and mild. But also, I'm gonna say one thing: it's kind of cheating putting that in Pepsi, because you know why? I have cinnamon sticks in this thing. It's fucking delicious.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, oh, it's just like really nice pickled onions, but like with this hint of cinnamon. Wait, what? Yeah, pickle Pepsi. You take Pepsi, Cine? Okay, you put a bit of pickle brine and like a sliced pickle at the bottom, pour Pepsi over, it tastes delicious. Yeah, that's interesting payout, I would say.
Yeah, so I mean, I think at the end of the day, it kind of makes sense why all these, why all the YouTubers that you see are like, always hawking like subscription apps and VPNs and shit. I suspect that those things probably pay a whole lot better than like the YouTube ad revenue does, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Like
So,
I am also thinking about the whole, how could I sustain shit like streaming, and I'm like, you definitely need the sponsorships. Those pay directly.
Yeah.
Also, if you haven't seen, the guy who broke the news on Honey put out a couple more videos recently.
Yes, I did. I saw that.
I saw them, but I haven't seen them.
Oh, they're good. Which reminds me, speaking of Europeans reacting things, I got some more cursed car videos to throw in the queue.
Damn. So did he reveal other sponsors that are shit? I mean, that Honey was...
No, he just continued to. It was basically 2 update videos on the status of the Honey of like the charges brought up on Honey. The shorthand of it is basically that the courts said no to the lawsuit, but they specifically added on a clause that essentially said, come back with a more clear and more specific case. So it's not that they were shut off or shut down or anything like that. It's that the judge basically told them, you don't have enough evidence here to have a case. And so the guy came back. And there was another thing.
Oh yeah, they're doing a Volkswagen, which is kind of funny. They're doing a Volkswagen.
Oh, you mean they are the faking data?
Yeah, they have specific parameters designed to evade testing to catch them.
Yes, he exposed that in his most recent video on the subject. He had one update video that was discussing the legal battle update stuff, and then like 10 days later, he posted a whole nother video which repeated some of the stuff about the lawsuit update, but also included like his deep dive and some confirmations as to with some professional like financial people. And like professional like fraud finders, who basically confirmed, Honey was actively avoiding what's the thing called? Not inspections, but like
basically like
it was like fair trade stuff. They were avoiding that and screwing over their customers, which is not the end user or even like the people there. They were actively and purposefully avoiding and ignoring and pretending to not ignore the advertising platforms.
Yeah, so basically they had their software set up so that way like Honey wouldn't snipe affiliate links for people who were using either like brand new accounts or who hadn't accrued a certain number of like reward points, operating under the assumption that people who had brand new accounts were more likely to be people who would be auditing the software to make sure that it wouldn't be like somebody
who
was
really hard
yeah,
to find out.
That's just the diesel scandal all over again.
Well, and it was kind of insidious too, because it would also search for accounts that had like they said it had a regular expression in it that was testing email accounts that had either certain names in it or had the word test in it, which that's a pretty that's a pretty big giveaway. Is if you're looking for emails with the word test in it, you're definitely looking to avoid people who are
checking,
auditing your software. Yeah.
That's fraud. That's fraud.
I don't know if it's necessarily fraud, but you're definitely looking to avoid being spotted by somebody who would be, interrogating your software. Yeah, you're definitely avoiding regulatory, that's for sure. So again, yeah, they're doing a Volkswagen.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, by the way, a lot of this stuff is like super illegal in the white collar zone.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, the Volkswagen stuff was also just that shit was also highly illegal here. So like, yeah.
Man, and I listen. As a guy who, okay, I don't know if you guys, I haven't even talked about this. So the main problem is so I'm down to 2 cars right now, which is fine. Had to get rid of them. I'm out of a job. I needed the money. I just have a Subaru and a Honda. It's fine. I have my best Subaru right now. The problem I've got with it is the catalytic converter is cooked, and like, look, catalytic converters real expensive. So I've been looking for some alternate solutions to try to solve this problem. Because I was coming back.
Careful
from
how
Illinois.
you phrase this, because we all know what happens to catalytic converters in the U.S.
Yeah. No, I was looking for some alternate solutions to figuring this out.
Some legal ones.
Well, okay. Look, I'm not going to talk about the legality of these solutions at all. But listen. So there's this thing that happens when a catalytic converter starts. Do you guys know what a catalytic converter does? How it works?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, cool. So like, there's the oxygen sensor on the front it's like is before the exhaust goes into the catalytic converter, and then the oxygen sensor on the on the rear of it. And like, when your catalytic converter ain't catalytic converting anymore, it causes your engine to throw a code called P420. It means it's fallen below the acceptable emission standard. So your engine just starts throwing a check engine light, which is stupid, because if there is actually something wrong with your engine, you have no way of knowing it, because your catalytic converter is throwing a check engine light. That's no good. So it's like, I gotta find some way to get the stupid code out of my engine, so that way I can, like, if something's actually wrong with it, I can find out about it. So how do I get rid of this stupid code? Well, maybe I'll clean out my catalytic converter. Well, okay. So you can add some fuel additives, clean that shit out. It works a little bit, but sometimes the code keeps popping back up again. So it's like, well, how does one clean a catalytic converter? Well, it turns out it's mostly because of carbon deposits in the honeycomb in there. So you can just take it out and put it in the dishwasher. So it turns out those detergents will take the carbon right out of the honeycomb.
I mean,
so
okay, fair, but like, you put it in the dishwasher.
Well, didn't put it in the dishwasher. Did soak it for a little bit, but boy, it's really hard to remove a catalytic converter.
Yeah, I mean, it's carbon. So, carbon works.
Yeah, but well, you gotta let it soak for a long time, and while you're letting it soak, you gotta do something else for your catalytic converter. Is sitting in a tub of water in the garage, and gotta do something. So you just straight pipe it, right? Just drive around without a catalytic converter for a little while. It's not like there's harmful carbon monoxide coming out of the back of it or anything.
I guess.
So, anyways, turns out if it's clogged enough, the honeycomb just doesn't work anymore, and it just falls out of it. Fun fact. And also, that crispy plastic thing that comes out of it when you take it off, that's actually a gasket seal. But I didn't have any way of knowing that, because it was so damaged and destroyed. It's been in there for 13 years. I didn't recognize it as a gasket seal. So anyways, turns out those things are super cheap and easy to replace, but didn't know that when I pulled it out of there. Anyways, washed out the catalytic converter, got it all back in, went in all nicely and stuff, but I'm still getting that stupid code. That's because the honeycomb thing was just completely destroyed, right? The catalytic converter, it ain't catalytic converting anymore. So it turns out, you can go on Walmart.com and you can buy a device that will trick the sensors into thinking that the catalytic converter is converting. And you can stick it to your car. Looked it up on the EPA. These things are super illegal. You can just buy them on Walmart.com.
Wow.
Hey,
it's so cool. It's so cool that you can do this.
America is always interesting to learn about. Like, oh yeah, you can just buy it. Where? Oh, just the website of the biggest big box store. Okay, what?
Like, yeah, I know.
I know. Listen.
I want to assume that it's meant for like mechanics and like people who work on cars.
No, it just says it right in there. It just says it right in the description. It's just like, this is not legal, but you just buy it right here on Walmart.com.
I mean,
can't get it on Amazon.
Oh God, let me guess. It's a case of it's not legal to use it, but it's not illegal to sell it.
No, and that's the thing is that like specifically is like, here's the thing. I don't know how it's listed there, because like I was looking this up. The reason I find out about it is because like I found out about it the same reason I found out about like putting your catalytic converter in the dishwasher is like people like me have had the same problem where it's just like catalytic converter is going out, but like my car is only worth $2,000 and it costs $3,000 to get a catalytic converter. So like I'm not going to put a $3,000 piece of equipment in a $2,000 car. How do I solve this? And so you start digging into some obscure mechanics forums, and then you find some mechanics saying like, oh, here's a super illegal hack that you can do. Here, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to do the super illegal hack. And you go on Amazon, and sure enough, you can't find it on Amazon anywhere. Can't find it at AutoZone. Can't find it at O'Reilly's. It's like, well, shit. Guess there's no way I can do this super illegal hack. There it is, right on Walmart, and it's advertised specifically as an O2 sensor, as an O2 sensor extender. Which again, got to emphasize, illegal, just completely illegal. Can't put those on there. And there it is, just right on Walmart.com.
That's that's wild.
Getting it in the mail. Yeah, and so I don't know how that's possible because like if you search for it on Amazon, like you're not, like you can find them on the EPA website. You go on the EPA website and they say you can't buy these anywhere. They're illegal to sell. They're illegal to advertise in this way. And
then Walmart. I mean, I guess Walmart is the place where none of them look, and Walmart and Amazon has maybe like a little bit of standards, but like, what the hell?
And I mean, it's not like what do they call them? The cake fluffers or the cream fluffers or whatever, where it's just nitrous oxide you're meant to get a high on, right? Like, it's not like nitrous where like ostensibly it has some other use case that's not getting high. No, I mean, there's no other use case for the O2 sensor extenders. Like the only use case for them is faking your emissions, right? Like that's it. That's the only use case for them. So anyways, I would absolutely never put anything in my car to fake the emissions on them. Absolutely would never do that, is what I'm saying. That's all.
Yeah.
But hey, cleaning out all the shit in my catalytic converter did improve my gas mileage, so at least there was that.
That's nice. I mean, yeah.
Can't run my car in an enclosed space or anywhere near an enclosed space because it will poison everybody nearby. But other than that, runs great.
I mean, my hack for emissions testing is don't have emissions.
Yeah, fair point. Like you went electric and bike and all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the better solution here, but yeah, I would like to. My next car, I do have a next car, is definitely going to be it's going to be a hybrid electric vehicle because for storm chasing, you can't do an electric car.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, is electric that sensible for storm chasing?
It's really not.
Wait, what was the Ford hybrid? The Sorento?
Maybe.
Or no, that's not Ford. There's like a hatchback. There's like a thick hatchback that they have. No, the Volt is all electric, I think.
Is it? I don't know. But yeah, I getting some illegal guys in the mail pretty soon here, which are only going to be used for experimentation purposes, not doing anything illegal with them. It's very funny to me that like of all the places that would carry them, of course it would be. You would expect to find them on like AliExpress or like like Temu or something. But nah, just Walmart.com.
I guess after you got broken by trying to expand into Germany, yeah, you have to just make the money somehow.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had catalytic converters stolen before. Boy, it is really also, it's like really hard to take a catalytic converter off a car, but it's like way harder to put one back on.
Okay, so Patrick, so the Ford Escape and the Ford Maverick were the cars that I was thinking of. The Maverick's a pickup truck. That's a hybrid.
Yeah, if I get a hybrid, I'm gonna get a. It's gonna be a. It's gonna be a Rav4. That's they're pricey, but worth it.
Yeah,
they'll for sure be a.
But no, I've heard really good things about the Ford hybrid cars.
I don't know if I trust. I don't know if I trust American cars. I had an American car blow up on me pretty quickly here. I don't know if I trust American. I don't know. Maybe
if I wasn't buying like Japanese cars, I'd probably buy an American car. Some of the brands, some of the lines on the brands are really good.
I mean,
but also other ones are not on the same brand might not be very good.
Like I can only say one thing.
Available.
I can only say about American cars. Like I've driven a Ford once, and it's a solid car.
Yeah, and they tend.
Listen, I was not really impressed by it. Like I've driven.
Oh yeah, no, like it. So the thing with Fords is most of them are for the most part, Fords are not all that impressive. But what they stand on is like they have decent reliability, and like it's essentially the price that you pay is pretty solid for what you get.
I mean, okay, at least here I can say, a Ford.
And here in the US, it's pretty easy to do maintenance on them.
Yeah, fair. It's probably like cheaper on your end because, like, here's the thing. Basically, it was a normal Ford sedan. I think it was a sedan. Yeah. But the thing is, before that, I've driven, like, I've learned on a BMW sedan. I've driven an Audi/Skoda one. I've driven Mercedes, and all of them have like the same price range as the Ford, and like, okay, here's the thing: the Ford is a solid car. It works.
Yeah,
it is not comparable to German cars. In the same price range. Listen, I know how I sound. And like, I'm going to say, this is, by the way, not a review on automatic. This is a review on manual driving. Ford just loses in that category so hard. Like, okay.
What's that JoJo's character who loves the Nazi who screams out?
You mean
German engineering?
Stroheim?
Stroheim, yes.
German engineering is the best in the world. I mean, that's what by Volkswagen in the 80s, and they always drove manual. Like, Cine, I get you. Volkswagen/Audi, it's the same company nowadays. I've also driven a Volkswagen Golf 2. Fantastic car. That shit just works. My
dad swore by his Saab. That was until like he swore by Saab until I think it was like 2003 or something like that. And then Saab was like top tier car.
Saab is a top tier car.
And then the next year, Saab just became the shittiest thing that you could buy.
Yeah,
like, it's expensive. It's hard to maintain, and like now it's expensive, hard to maintain, and you're not even getting that good of a car anymore.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing to consider that Saab's main business is actually just military equipment, but then they just nosedive their car company. It's like, okay, I guess.
And the thing is, Saab actually had a market that was ready to explode and buy all of their cars in the US. And then they just kind of like imploded their brand, and then no one wants to buy their cars.
It was kind of amazing, but like, yeah, I mean, I can genuinely say, like, I've driven cars from like a lot of countries, and like, Yeah, like I hate to really be the person who, like, I get why German cars are so popular, because, like, especially when you drive manual, it's like, so, like, here's the thing: there's a certain feeling to how, how the stick moves, and all of them can be valid. The thing is just, if you, for example, drive BMW, it's like it has this really nice chunk move. And Audi is like, there's a bit resistance, but it's like this nice. You can, like, you can really feel how you can switch with it, like with like easy motions. The whole. You know how rally drivers just drive with one hand on the wheel and just flick through the whole thing.
Yeah,
that's that. Yeah.
As much as I am happy to go ahead and praise German engineering, I can't really praise German business practice with their car companies.
You know what? I'm not praising that either. It's just when you drive the car, it's good.
We have Volkswagen with their we have Volkswagen with their history. We have BMW with things like the subscription car heaters.
Yeah, you know what? That's just a you problem.
We have Mercedes with their like overpriced everything.
I mean, they're not really that overpriced here, but yeah, I know.
If you're not in Germany, everything in Mercedes is way overpriced. Even considering like the cost of importing and stuff like that. Like, and I'm talking even like considering 10 years ago.
Mm.
My grandparents have had Mercedes and BMWs before, and my dad used to have a Volkswagen back in I want to say the 80s. Yeah, he had one of those old bugs. And they were all pains to deal with.
Interesting. Because, like, here it's just, they just work. Like, again, I drove an old, how's it called, Golf 2. That car just worked. Period.
My grandfather's BMW was pretty solid until the end. His Mercedes started to break down a couple of times, and I mean, when those cars break down, they break down bad.
I mean,
especially over here, because it's like, again, doing any kind of work on them, because like maintenance is proprietary, and so you can't go to your average shop and get it taken care of. You have to go to one of the branded Mercedes or BMW places.
Yeah, I mean, that's also nowadays the thing here. I just want to point out about the whole manual thing, because, like, by the way, the funniest thing about manual Mercedes, it's like there's no resistance. You can just, like, literally just flick it with your finger, and boom, it's in.
I've driven a is semi-automatic a way to put it?
I don't know.
Well, I think the car had a automatic transmission, but you could still manually shift everything if you wanted.
Interesting. Basically the thing is, like, when you drive manual, like in like nearly every German, or like even on Opel and such, it's usually you can have like this one clear motion on how you switch through gears. Doable. The Ford I drove. So ever this feeling of just dragging like a steel pipe over a rock?
Oh, yeah, no. So Fords, mainline Fords,
very descriptive
manual transmissions. The mainline Fords. If you go into the Mustangs, I believe, they have pretty solid transmissions.
I hope so, because honestly, yeah, the Mustang wasn't. I've driven in a 60s Mustang Cabrio. Those things are fucking amazing. Anyway, the thing is, like, yeah, the normal sedan was just like again, not that it was like horrible. It was just like you felt every meter you had to just pull this thing. It's like, how do you make them transmissions? Like, how? It's just weird.
Ford kind of cheaps out a little bit on the transmissions, on some of the transmission stuff. Not to the point that it becomes like damaging or problematic easily.
Yeah, that's what I also think. Like,
But
I think
it's
the
like they
cars are
don't go
fine.
for super high quality stuff because everything is like a middle ground for them, basically.
Yeah,
which is how they keep the prices the way they are.
It's just kind of funny because again here it's like Ford is just everything is just kind of mid, and then the car costs the same as a Volkswagen, and you're like, why?
Yeah, no, like owning a German car in Germany is completely different from anywhere else in the world.
I mean,
especially in America.
I think the funniest bit is, and then I think Ford is like almost non-existent here nowadays.
Yeah, no. Ford is really insular. They stick to the US and the UK.
Yeah. Because
and even the UK branch is not that massive.
Basically,
it's growing, but yeah.
I think the only car company I knew that really got bigger here in Germany over the last years that isn't from Germany, like even the French and the Italian ones became less. Like I've seen a lot more Alfa Romeos before. That's Skoda, and you know what Skoda's fucking plan is?
Hang on. Snowing in Florida.
It's snowing. What?
It's fixing to snow in Florida. Yeah, right now we got. Damn, they're getting a lot of snow in Florida. Jesus Christ.
What the hell
wait, hold on. Panhandle, Florida, or Florida?
Northern Florida, apparently. Like
Panhandle, Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. For some clarity for people here who may not know, Panhandle, Florida is essentially a different state.
Yeah, but this wave of winter weather is making its way down into Central Florida, so we might actually see snow accumulation like further south of that, which is fascinating. But Panhandle, Florida is basic.
Before we know it, the polar bears and crocodiles will start mating.
No, God, not the crocodiles.
Literally, end of the world right here.
They don't have crocodiles in Florida. They have alligators.
They have both.
Right.
They have both, actually.
Oh, that's right.
It's the only place in the world that has both.
And pythons, so who knows?
Crocodigators.
Crocodigators.
Polar crocodigators, yeah.
Oh god, that's horrible. Like, and they're all on meth, probably.
Oh no, that's one. I'm pretty sure I saw a headline.
Meth is just like the standard buff that you get by being in Florida.
Yeah, Florida man, it's just like, yeah.
Do you really want the polar bears to migrate to Florida and be on meth?
I don't want them to, but they're probably going to end up doing that.
I mean, it's very Florida that polar bears would be on meth.
It's just there's just an ambient meth level in Florida in general, so like just.
God, I probably need to I need to write someone probably over the weekend like, hey, is there snow in your end? God, no, it's yeah.
Meanwhile, DC, we've had probably one of the warmest winters we've had in forever. Well, it's one of the warmer winters we've had in a long time, and also one of the driest winters that we've had in a long time.
Oh damn! Like
we had half an inch of snow this entire winter.
I've talked about this at length. Here in Colorado, we actually had our first ever PDS red flag warning, which I'll explain this very briefly. Sometimes when they issue storm warnings, they'll attach the PDS, which stands for particularly dangerous situation. The only storms that ever get a PDS tag attached to them are like hurricane eye walls or like tornadoes that are like larger than a mile wide. Or you get the idea. So like whenever or like blizzards that are like have like less than like 2 feet visibility, like the PDS tag does not get assigned to storms unless we're talking extreme conditions. So a red flag warning means that these are fire weather conditions, right? So red flag warning means that like this area is at severe risk of like wildfires. So for there to be a PDS red flag warning, the first of its kind ever issued in this country, happened here in my neighborhood like last month. We got a PDS red flag warning. We have gotten the least. We've had the hottest
plains, Colorado.
We had the plains. We had the highest. Okay. Had the warmest, driest winter on record. Our snowpack hasn't been replenished yet. Let me hold on.
That's not good.
Oh no, it's extremely not good. Let me hold on. Let me
I
find
have
the drought map.
we have
Let
a
me find the
family
drought
friend
map.
that lives in shit. What's the not Park City? Or is it Park City? He lives in one of the big ski resorts because he's an instructor there. But so we
It
get like
might be
the
South Park
occasional
or what's the other one? Breckenridge or Aspen. I don't
Breckenridge.
know.
Yeah,
Yep.
he lives in Breckenridge, so we've seen some of the stuff that goes on there, and it's not good.
Oh, it's
It's not
really
good.
not
In
well.
comparison, we actually had like, at least for the last week or so, we had like snow again for like the first time in years. And like, I mean, like, how much was that? Like 15, 20 centimeters snow? Agonia? Oh, it was a bunch of snow actually. So
But yeah, the problem in the mountains in Colorado, I've heard, is basically that they've had to turn on their artificial snow machines because it was getting so bad.
average
Oh,
alpine feeling now.
take a look. So I just posted the scary map. You should put the scary map up on stream. If you'll take a look at some of the dark red area, I live in the dark red areas, so yeah,
Yep.
it's not great. Yeah.
Let me just do this one real quickly. Da-da-da-da.
But I've got more scary maps coming too that are like
Okay,
also
which one? Oh,
especially
yeah, there's a lot of drought there, I'd say.
yeah, and I mean we're in like a historically bad drought
Oh,
too.
yeah.
But like yeah, they're in northern Colorado and stuff. Like we badly need so that those red areas. That's so like specifically in Colorado, which is the big squarish
Yeah.
state in the middle. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's so that's the Rocky Mountains. Those are like where the glaciers need to get replenished every year because that when that melts in the spring, that provides water for see all the rivers coming off of there? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what that's water for Arizona. That's water for New Mexico. That's water for actual Mexico. That's water for California. Like
Yeah, right.
there's a
There
lot of water that comes.
wasn't there this thing called the Rio Grande that's like kind of important?
Yeah, well, that river also gets a lot of like there's a lot of water that comes from California from there too. Which also notice how white California is on this map right now.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did just get an atmospheric river like California
Yeah.
got all of their water needs met this year thanks to like a
For
giant
the first
storm
time in
that hit
forever.
for the first time in like for the first time in like in 40 years actually.
Yeah.
So that's good. So you'll notice California's water needs perfectly satisfied, but
The rest,
Colorado's water
no.
needs
Ow.
yeah, but oh yeah, look at Utah. Yeah, Utah. Also, all those red spots. Those are also places where glaciers and snowpack is supposed to get replenished. That shit's missing. And oh yeah, all those little red spots down there in like southern Arizona and southern New Mexico. Those areas. Yeah, those are also places where glaciers and snowpack are supposed to be because that's all along the Rocky Mountains. Oh yeah, also those places up in Montana, that's up by like Glacier National Park and stuff. Like all those areas in the Rocky Mountains really badly need snow,
Damn.
and are just not getting them. So like we're talking a
Yeah.
drought of like proportions that has like we're literally talking. This is a historic drought.
This is not good. This is definitely not a good. I mean,
Oh, it's extremely bad. Extremely bad.
yeah.
These areas, if they don't get the snow that we need by March, this wildfire season is going to be probably worse than 2012. Like, we had a bad wildfire season in 2012. Like, the sky was just orange for like half the year. Like, I don't even know how bad. I mean, it could get worse than 2012. Like, that's the thing. Like,
That's not good. I mean, probably it will be worse, if, the orange is still in office then, so.
Oh, yeah, and hold on. Well, here's the thing. It's not looking great.
And there I kind of almost cursed the fact that we got so much snow and people just were like, you know what, I'm not gonna remove snow from my
So I'm gonna post some more scary maps.
like basically I'm still a little bit pissed because basically the reason I slipped last Friday was quite literally someone had like an entryway to their how's it called to like their business and stuff for cars, and they just didn't remove the snow, so it just turned basically ice. And it's like there's a bit of an incline. That's why I slipped and sprained the foot. And it's just like, cool. I guess over all the years where we didn't have that much snow, people just forgot that, hey, legally you're required to make that safe.
Oh, by the way, there's some errors in the monthly temperature outlook map for the Northeast. That below the likely below line needs to be further north.
Ooh.
Because it's unusually warm for mid-January. Not to say that it isn't cold. Like today was cold, but half of that's the wind chill. And normally,
Are you looking at the seasonal or the
the
month?
first one you put the monthly temperature outlook.
This is directly from NOAA, which, by the way, they also just defunded the agency that issues these.
Yeah.
So these are going to start. At the end of this year, they're going to stop issuing these, which is also great. I'm really excited for us that we're not.
God,
it's gonna fuck over the farmers, by the way.
Oh, it will. Yeah, obviously.
It's these are just going away, baby. So we're not going to have these anymore. But yeah, to pull those maps up on screen. By the way, so these are the 3-month, these seasonal precipitation and seasonal temperature. So these are 3-month outlooks, which are slightly less accurate because, as you can see, they're kind of more blobby than those other outlooks because they're not as high resolution. We can only kind of glimpse at them through the use of long range models.
It doesn't look good that there's so much that's above temperature.
Well, and above temperature, below precipitation, specifically in areas where you'll notice that we have a lot of like heartland states in there. So we got like Texas and Colorado and Oklahoma and Illinois and Kentucky and all of those places not great.
And also part of the problem with those inland states is like the parts of those that are being affected are also like they're not in the best position. Like they're in a very reliant position on their rivers, and without the snowpack to drain into them, that's going to be even worse.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they depend very heavily on their waterways.
I mean, they already overused them anyway, but...
Well, Western states' rivers are tiny. If you've been...
No. I mean, like, for example, the Colorado River, the moment they were like, how much water people can take. Like, they actually calculated how much water is in the Colorado River, and even back then, they just were like, oh, you know what, let's just... Like, literally let people get more water than there is, like, physically in the river, and that was always like, are you stupid? And now everyone Pikachu faces, because, like... Oh.
Well, so part of that is also the snowpack, and in a lot of those measurements, they don't include the snowpack amounts. And Colorado, correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I remember Colorado got like some really good snow seasons, like the black.
No, I mean, like, there is a treaty on how the water of the Colorado River can be used, how it's split up. And even when they made their treaty, they had the data of how much water there is physically, how much it can refuel on like minimum and maximum, and they just put it way above the maximum what people can take out of the river. Now they're like, oh, it's draining. Oh no shit. Yeah, they're already overconsumed all the time.
The way that water stakes work is really like complex and weird and hard to explain. So my dad's a water engineer. He's an agricultural engineer. He's worked for a lot of different water companies. Like he works for a ditch company now. But basically, essentially, like there's a known finite amount of water that comes from different water sources. And like the amount of access you get to the water is dependent on when your stake was established. And like the company that he works for right now, like their stake was established back in like 1885. So he's like 50 on the pecking order. So like he has like one of the higher stakes. Like some of the other companies that access that water, like they're like 200 or 300 on that list, right? It's a very weird way of doing things. Again, it's just based on who got there first.
I mean, that's
like the way they do those.
I mean, that is kind of how they did it, like, especially, like, in old times. But, like...
I mean, they've never changed it because, like, who controls the water has, like, the... But, like, that system, like, has always allocated more water than exists, but they did it that way because they assumed at one point, like, they were in a drought. They're making the assumption that at some point the drought would end. and these water maximums will come back someday. But now we're in like the 40th year of the drought. We're maybe not thinking or accounting for the fact that
even
like
for the drought.
this is just the way that this is the way. Well, again, the belief here was that there's gonna be more water, or there's gonna be some change in the future that allows for there to be more water.
That's I know what it is, but like,
But
I mean,
these are just
people
magic
that made
numbers.
the assessment of how much water there is, even back then, like before the drought happened, literally said no. And then the people who decided it just assumed, well, what if there might be some more water somehow? Like, it was just magic wishful thinking. It's so stupid, and it was never adjusted. It's so
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and
it's not just wishful thinking, because again, they don't.
It is to a degree. It is literally just that.
They didn't expect
not
the droughts to continue so long,
and
they looked at what
this was data on before the drought. This was data on before the drought. Like,
right.
They knew it couldn't be that much. They just hoped it would be more.
Right, but there was also historical precedent for them to think that these water levels would go higher, just based on like so part of like the way that geology was done back in the day too is they decided, well, if the canyons got this deep, these water levels like were higher at some point, and that's kind of a flawed way of thinking. But they're also looking at these water lines from the past, so it's. Again, we're talking about, look, water engineering and fluid dynamics and stuff has been pretty solid for like 2 centuries at this point. So like these numbers weren't entirely like magical or just wishful thinking. They're wrong. We know that they're wrong now, but like they weren't entirely pulling these numbers out of their asses. Like,
that's the thing what I meant. No, I meant like what the water engineers told the lawmakers, like literally the lawmakers, was like an actually pretty accurate amount of water that is available that we know nowadays of, like, with better technology, that they are pretty close. And again, the lawmakers just assumed there would be more water. Like, again, the engineers, they told them no. And the lawmakers just were like, what if it was true? And that is just insane to a degree. Like,
I wouldn't say it's insane. It's more of, so this is where the academia side of me understands probably what most likely happened, is that because it's extremely likely that the lawmakers or whoever were making the decisions at the time were the ones who essentially like had these studies and this research done, like the ones pulling the strings to get it done. And so this is the problem with corruption in academia, where basically people who pay for a result and not the study itself.
Yeah, but like I don't.
They weren't, and so basically what they do is they ask questions in a certain way, saying, "Oh, is there a history of water being above this level? If so," and the researchers will say yes, but they won't know. They don't have the data to like enforce saying like, "Oh, there's a trend where it will be up at that soon in the future," because they don't know. And so the politicians basically decide, oh, well, if it was there in the past, then it'll probably go back up anyways, regardless of what you guys think, because you guys you don't know if it's going to go back up. So therefore, there's going to be more water in the future.
That's the irony. Yeah. They literally told them that won't happen. They literally told them what the maximum amount will be, and they ignored it.
They told them what the maximum amount was going to be for next year, right?
No, what the maximum amount was on pre-drought data on how much there will be in the river, and they were pretty...
How many times do you need to repeat it?
Sorry, because apparently...
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's like... Yeah, I know. It's just, they told them no, and they were ignored. That's the thing. And it was never adjusted, because the moment the treaty was done, everyone was like, well, we had a treaty, even though the treaty is bullshit.
Okay, so hold on. I can actually settle this real quick here. I'm gonna hope that the AI summary here is accurate and not feeding me total bullshit.
It's generally okay, like, and it's fairly easy to spot like weird oddities.
Yeah, well, it's citing a source, so it's from the Colorado Water Foundation on Aquapedia. That's a cool specialized wiki. I want to know more about that one. Aquapedia, that's dope. Okay, but we'll go back to this. We'll go back to the Aquapedia article on this to fact check it. But it says, all right. Let's see. The 7 states in the Colorado River Basin, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming, Arizona, California, and Nevada, negotiated the agreement with leadership from federal officials and with then Secretary of Commerce, Herbert Hoover, yada, 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 divided up the basin. Okay. So negotiators believed, based on the limited streamflow records during an unusually wet period, that the river averaged about what the hell is an MAF? What is that? What is that? What is that unit of measurement? MAF. It's, if I remember correctly.
Well, I will say, you bring up the name Herbert Hoover, and it doesn't give me much confidence that anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's fucking Herbert Hoover. Like, even I know the guy was bad.
Okay,
yeah.
Hoover is like water in the top 10 of worst.
Oh, there we go. So that's they estimated it initially at 17 to 18 million acre feet of water. Okay, and that's a lot of water. And so when was that estimate performed? That was 1922. So the initial allocation happened in 1922. Then there were further allocations that happened on the Boulder Canyon Project Act, which basically split up the water between California, Arizona, and Nevada. Then there was a treaty between the U.S. and Mexico, which allocated additional water. And then 1948, there was an additional treaty which allocated more water, and that treaty pushed them over the edge. So they basically just kept tacking. So it looks like the way this actually happened is they just kept tacking more onto the end of the treaty to a point where they were just giving away more water than it actually had. So it's not like there was an actual one singular point of decision where they were like, we're just going to give more water than there was. It just looks like as they kept adding on more to this to an existing agreement between states and a treaty with Mexico, so there's a treaty with a foreign country, they just kept giving away water that they didn't actually have to give. So that's
they really need to
reasonable
redo that.
They just weren't
also something to note. 1920. Yeah, we're approaching the Dust Bowl.
Yeah, we're approaching the Dust Bowl, and also if you noticed from the original one, the number of also the precision of measurement in 1922 is not going to be super great. Also 1922,
relatively
an extremely also that year too, an extremely wet year. So they're getting bad readings. They're getting bad readings with limited technology at the time. Of course, they're going to overestimate it.
Honestly, the thing is more like I would kind of disagree on the whole technology thing, because like measurements during the 1920s were still pretty solid. Like, they were not that far off of a lot of times. Like, there was.
Here's the thing: measurements are not consistent when you add in the human factor.
That's true, but like even then, you had people
especially when you're also dealing with things like moving water.
Well, actually, I think for things like moving water, I think you can actually gauge that pretty easily, because I think all you have to know is like the width of a channel and the depth at the deepest point, and then if you calculate the average water speed, just because of like the mass of water moving through a point, I think you can actually nail that one down.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's kind of interesting to think about how much we were like actually able to, how's it called, calculate pretty clearly, in terms of, for example, rivers and channels, or generally distances, like way before the 1920s, because we actually had pretty good mathematical and generally tools to just line them out.
So it looks like the biggest reason, though, just according to the allocations here, was the U.S.-Mexico Water Treaty. So like the million acre
the international treaty is going to be a problem.
Yeah, and the thing is, we have to guarantee that to Mexico, and I mean, it's like we guaranteed a lot to Mexico, and like I don't know if you guys have seen Mexico, but it's a it's a desert down there. Like, they have to have that water. We can't not give it to them.
Yeah, and then the question is, where is the water coming from and all that? So
wasn't some of our water treaty stuff with Mexico also part of the purchase that we made? The territory purchase?
The Mexico purchase?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that one. Because I mean, we're talking, this is the 1920s.
But yeah, just to say it's bad and it's gonna
between...
get actually like a lot worse this year when, you know, the glaciers don't get snow. So yeah. Actually you go I actually hope you get through this wildfire season without many problems.
I'm also worried about Canada too. Like, Canada's gonna be a problem. It's been a problem.
Like I don't know.
Canada's had it bad this year too. Like, oh my god, like last year was a bad year for wildfires for Canada. 2024 was especially bad for Canadian wildfires, but
we all remember. My family remembers when the Canadian wildfires got so bad that the atmosphere changed color in DC.
Oh yeah,
from all the smoke.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing I'm not looking forward to, right? Like, just because of one stupid YouTube video, which again I think was the whole thing. I mean, the whole thing was obviously staged by Republicans to send ice into Minnesota, but like, they've been using natural disasters as a way to like justify withholding federal funds from states. Like, if Colorado experiences a major like fire crisis this year, and like federal funds are continuing to be withheld from Colorado, we could be looking at like a much more severe crisis here in Colorado than actually needs to happen. Which
Not
I
to
think
mention
is something...
the whole. So there's like two other like small, like I guess maybe not small but possibly big things that will affect this. There's the you know what's the emergency agency that Trump shut down?
FEMA,
yeah. There's the whole stuff with FEMA on top of the fact that there's a cultural attitude towards natural disasters in the U.S. is extra sympathetic towards hurricanes, quite a bit less, a little bit less, but still quite sympathetic towards tornadoes, then wildfires, then earthquakes, and then I'd say droughts,
like flash floods.
Yeah, and flash floods. Floods, I'd say probably moved up on the list a little bit, but for the most part, that's like a going downward in regards of like the public's priority or opinions or sympathy levels towards them. So I can definitely see the administration intentionally withholding funds.
I mean, they've already done that. I mean, I think we forget the fact that like the Trump administration withheld funds from red states. Like, again, I have to come back and harp on this. Like, fucking what's her face, governor of Arkansas, annoying Bible lady. What the fuck's her name?
You're not narrowing it down very much.
Yeah, oh God. What stupid bitch's name? Let me look her up. Governor of Arkansas. I can't. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
I also like big thing about
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Yes, her.
Yeah,
I completely forgot that she ran for governor.
By the way, just to point this out, there was a big flood recently, and
No, do you mean the one in Texas?
Virginia, I think. Was it Virginia?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, there was one.
That was really bad, and like, let me just put it like this: aside from the people that were affected by it, I heard barely anything. Like, I know one person from the region that also watches the streams. He's sometimes here, but like, I remember him coming on like, "Oh yeah, I finally have my power back due to the flood. We were like just left alone." I just sit there being like, you know what? I feel bad for just forgetting there was such a horrible flood, and you know people were just left alone. Like,
yeah, Appalachia got fucked over last year, and for the most part, it doesn't look like they care that they got abandoned.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of insane
because they're all blaming it on Biden, even though Biden wasn't in office.
Well, yeah, so the Trump administration intentionally withheld funds from a lot of areas, like a lot of red areas too, and like a lot of these areas were like pretty severely impoverished as well. So like, it's so funny actually, because I think I posted about this on Blue Sky. Mississippi was like casting shade on Arkansas, being like, yeah, those stupid Arkansans, they're like a dumb welfare state, and we here in Mississippi, we take care of our own, and we're applying for FEMA funds, but not as much as Arkansas, because we take care of each other. And then Mississippi also got denied relief funds after casting all that shade on Arkansas. It's like, you dumb idiots.
I mean, duh. It always happens, but like, it's still like, I'm still shocked just by like, because I think I was like thinking like,
they bash other people
and then
for
I
bad
realized
things happening to them, and then they just pretend that the bad things that happen to themselves don't happen.
Yeah, I
mean,
I feel like
they just pull themselves up by their bootstraps, and they're all good now.
Yeah, and like I feel the irony about the flood is like I feel like floods are genuinely just not covered. Like I think when you say the sympathy rating, I think floods are actually very fucking low. Especially now, like especially after just for one thing, because like
on a national scale, they do get covered, not that much.
Yeah,
I will say they do get a lot. They get a long amount of coverage.
You know what? That's the thing I wanted to point out, because like the only flood from the USA I remember in like the last decades were aftermaths of hurricanes. Which, yes, but also, remember the whole most sympathies are for hurricanes? So people just don't care about floods when it was after a hurricane, not when it happens through different means, I guess.
Well, so with hurricanes, part of it is that there's some sensationalizing because of things like the naming of hurricanes.
I know. You can
and like the news media fanfare around them. Like
there's also. Oh, go ahead.
It's also like you can predict them, and you can mostly predict them, and there's a lot of lead up time where you're able to cover and talk about them as nature continues to do its thing. Whereas with floods, it tends to be like you only really talk about them after the fact, because when it's happening, it's often like it's like you get a lot of coverage the day of, but also you have a lot of people that are too busy to do reporting on it, that trying to save others. It's why you see like famous moments like where reporters have saved people during floodings, like they abandoned doing reporting in order to save people. So there is actually a lot of flooding coverage and sympathy in the U.S. It's just that a lot of the times we just don't have the time to broadcast it internationally.
Well, also there's
it's more like, in comparison, it's just like, this is in comparison, like, when we had like floods here. Hey, Govstuff Girl, welcome to Very Depressed Talking. Like that was still covered like a lot, Oh, hey, how are the recovery efforts? I mean, I don't know if you were there, Patrick. I think I brought it up, but like, actually in December, remember the Ahrtal flood in 2001? 2021. Like the really, really big one where like
Oh yeah.
So remember how like half of like the railway line in the region was just washed away?
Mm-hmm.
They fucking reopened it.
Oh damn.
Yep, they went in and they rebuilt like half of the railway line, upgraded it to full electricity, new bridges, new tunnels, everything in 2 years.
Damn.
Yeah. Which was kind of a big PR thing for the Deutsche Bahn. Like, look, we can build it. And I'm like, yeah, the moment you get funding, good planning, just get the get-go to just build the shit without limitations, I guess you can build a solid railway line, even if it's just like in just 2 years, I guess. Maybe. Vicky looks different today. We are already out with Vicky. Sorry, Ruben isn't here anymore, so short of our victory over China, we had to quit, sadly. It's just near color sweeping the nation. Nothing more to say. Yeah, this is just like, this is just the above average orange cat rating. You see, I already conquered Texas, California, Nevada, Colorado. I'm sweeping the nation, and I make everyone orange, run into things, and go, yeah.
That's how we do.
Yep. I'm adding yellow to the red states to make them nice and orange. You're very close to taking my state. Well, and I need to prepare myself and do a good job at that. I mean, who can stop me? Probably Agonia, but that's a different story. She could stop me in anything.
Tell us the weakness.
Yeah, my main weakness is Agonia. That's why I seek her out. I need to be nerfed, else I'm too powerful for this world. Isn't that right?
The amount of I was talking about the amount of sympathy that people have is proportional to how things like show up on camera. Because the thing about flooding is that the way that most floods go down is you have a lot of water in one place for like 20 minutes and it does a lot of damage, but that damage like isn't typically that persistent or not super visible, because what tends to happen is you get a lot of debris, but it all clumps up in like one area. But like while it's happening, it's pretty terrifying and it's pretty devastating. But like mostly the damage that a flood does is not like super visible, because like an area fills up with water and it causes like, you know, irreparable damage to homes and shit. But like that stuff like it needs to be slowly repaired over like the next 2 years, and you can't show that on camera well. Like, sure, people get like, you know, dragged away and drowned and killed and stuff, and it can happen on a large scale, but floods happen super quick. They go away. You can't put it on camera.
They sometimes go away. There are times where floods remain when there's not very good drainage, or like when they're in. So, like for example, in my area, there was I think it was 7 years ago now. There were the Ellicott City floods, where an entire city got hit with a massive wave of a flood, and the water, while it didn't remain very deep, a lot of the water and flooding remained in the area for like almost a week, I think.
Right,
so there
but
was
those
a
tend to be
lot
the
of
events
stuff
that
going on
people.
there.
But those tend to be the events that people will remember, and
Yes.
get more news coverage because the water persists for a while. But again, that's kind of why hurricanes and stuff.
And we saw that with
like
the Texas flood.
Yeah, as you'll sometimes. Well, remember with the Texas floods, a lot of those areas got flooded and flooded out really quick. Like water came in, water went out. So we got a few areas that had persistent flooding that like looked good on camera that they could bring the news vans out to. But
I don't think they can hear while I'm doing this.
Also, there's with going on this continuing on the subject with other types of stuff, you see the same thing with like the wildfires. Like you can, and it's slightly different here in that wildfires are really scary, even on camera from a distance. They're scary. But the problem is that you're not going to get. They're so dangerous that you're not going to get reporters in the area. No one's going to go walking into a wildfire zone with a fire crew carrying a camera. First off, the logistics of it all, it's just not going to work. You go into like scorched areas after the fire is cleared, and then maybe you get some footage there. And then if you're lucky, you're going to have like civilians that are like posting film that they took on their own cameras while trying to escape. Otherwise, you don't really have much. And people can only watch the same wildfire videos so much.
Yeah, they're really hard. They're really hard to cover.
Also, just wildfires are even faster of moving in and out of a place than a flood.
Yeah, they're and I mean, like that's kind of wildfires are sort of like the holy grail for like news coverage, because like you got the flames, it's scary, they move really quickly, and so like you do tend to, every once in a while you'll get those camera shots where you can see like especially in California when you've got like a downslope moving fire with the wind on its back, like you can see the progress of like a wildfire moving down a hill into like a suburb or something. I mean that shit sells. That looks visually, that looks good on camera, and like that's like easy to see. But oftentimes when you get shots like that and stuff, like it's zoomed out, and you don't see it at like an eye level perspective. like what it's actually doing. So it kind of reduces like the human scale impact. So it's like
also
hard to
it's been
empathize
a
with
full
people.
year since the LA fires too.
Oh yeah, it has.
Yeah,
it was January of last year.
Yeah, fortunately, California isn't at a burn risk right now.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of interesting. More like in comparison to that, because like I think floods are probably just taken a bit more seriously here. Also, probably because I mean, for one, like I think there's this idea that at least in Germany, like we have this thing that we are not really hit by a lot of catastrophes, okay? And like floods are definitely one of the strongest ones. But there's an interesting thing about it, because here's a so remember the whole thing with the Ahrtalbahn being rebuilt in like 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thing in the German public eye, like after something devastating happened, we like to flex. It's in like engineering flexes. It's like, we rebuild shit as fast as possible, like make it as fast as possible, usable again, and then we build back better. It's the whole, there is still this idea of we can triumph over nature in some form, like because like in like there's also a lot of talking about, for example, how technically people should not have actually settled in the Ahrtal, because when they look at the historical records, well, nearly every 100 years, like on time, there was like always a record flood, and then people just kind of forgot, and then whoops, there was the next flood. So actually what happened is that now a lot of regions get how's it called, they're actually preparing more and more for floods, because like we have probably more floods than most other, like especially in East Germany, a lot happened. Like I think
a lot of your cities are built in vulnerable areas, aren't they?
Villages especially.
Them,
villages.
Yeah, villages.
No, the cities are not even hit that much anymore. Like especially in recent years. Like I think during the 2000s, floods were much more prevalent. But like especially now after Ahrtal, a lot started building again, because like for example, the thing is, people say like, oh, we just put like up sandbag walls, and then we were like, fuck it, we're going to solve this at the root. As in, like, for example, in the Ahrtal now, in the upper parts, they are like legitimately removing fields for like grapes, etc. So there's just room for the water to expand onto. They're building houses now more vertically, like you have like just like the car parked below, and then everything is like one floor higher, and all the relevant electricity, etc., is under the roof. So you can stay in your house and be safe because it's isolated from the water. That's thing. And also a thing we're currently building a lot. I do not know how it's called in America, or if you even have that many. And it's called Hochwasserrückhaltebecken.
Describe what it does.
Basically, it's a dam, but like not really in the sense of
Are you talking about levees?
It's not really a levee, I would say. They're like specifically built. Let me just actually put one up. Like basically they're specifically built in like because a flood doesn't happen in a river just because of rain. They're like, it's rain over a large area, and it swells off all the rivers and brooks that run into the main river, and then the river floods, right? So basically what they're doing in the Ahrtal and everywhere else now is they're building these special dams that are just there to, like, let me just put it.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Basically,
I
as you can see
the English word is specifically, but we do use those a lot. The EPA has actually done a significant job of implementing a lot of those for a lot of
but like they're currently building them a lot. As you can see, like the normal brook just flows through them.
We don't normally use like massive, like artificial ones like that. We we've built a lot of natural ones.
Yeah, no, we're Germany is like full on. We're just building this shit.
So the thing that you're showing on screen right now, actually, so in my okay, fun story about this. I'll show you a cool thing. We can actually use that to check in on the snow in Florida. Actually, so the thing that you're showing on screen, we have these two. And one of these in my hometown of Fort Collins actually failed to work properly in 1997, and it got blocked up when we had a huge, massive unexpected rainfall. And what happened was it filled up on the other side, and it overflowed and caused a massive flood that caused catastrophic damage on the other side. It killed a lot of people. I knew people that lost their homes. I knew people like it washed away their like I had friends that lived in the trailer park. It like washed away their homes. And it was the great '97 flood in Fort Collins. It killed a lot of people, and to this day, along the creek there are high water markers there, and the city actually put up a bunch of signs that showed where the high water got to, because it was a pretty devastating natural disaster. It was pretty bad. And so
I can imagine.
A bunch of researchers at Colorado State University, which is the university in town, was like, we should use this new internet thing to start tracking, start collecting data on weather around around town and around Colorado to see if we can start making a historical map of all the weather and see if we can learn anything about this. Right? Let's get online. Kids are calling it online. Let's get online and figure this thing out. And so, my dad, who I'm absolutely positive is autistic and just not diagnosed, because listen, what other guy would keep a rain gauge and keep a
I know, yeah,
rain,
you talked about this.
Yeah, I've talked about this. Yeah. What other guy would keep a rain gauge for 30 years and check it every morning and keep a logbook of it? But yeah, he was like one of the very first meetings for this, and so yeah, for like as long as I've known the guy, he's been keep logging his rain gauge on a community project called Coco Roz, which is like the Colorado Community Collaborative Rain and Hail Project. And so like it started in Colorado, but it grew to be the entire country. And it's actually now referenced by like the National Weather Service and stuff. Like if you go to any of the National Weather Service like storm spotter meetings, they're like, you want to buy a rain gauge, and then they like push it on you really hard. But hold on, I'll link the website. I'll link the website because it's really cool. Because now we can find out how much snow there is in Florida.
They're kind of currently like really doing this a lot because they want to like get a bunch of these dams up in like all the river valleys, up on the top, of the R and other rivers now, because like a lot of regions are like, we have our rivers that flood and we really need to build them, because like for everyone who's wondering, this is just like on normal weather, nothing will be impeded on the rivers. The point is just when it rains really hard, it basically just holds back water and just has a controlled outlet of how much water should flow outside. There's a big allocated like basically holding area behind it, so like the amount of water that rushes into the main river can be like controlled, and then hopefully the rain calms down, you can open it more, rush more water, and then like drain them slowly after the rain is done, so it never gets that bad. And you know what, we're like, they have some really fancy ones, because like for example in Lower Saxony they have one where like a whole road is going through the thing. Look at that. That's cool, right?
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and by the way, here is it in action, because yes, they use it, as you can see. Like here's the road and here should be the road, but nope, there was too much water, so they blocked it. It filled up, and here it's draining out, and then when it's when the weather is down again, they can just open it and release all of it, and done. And this is like generally one of the best ways of reducing flood risk. Like again, you cannot really like stop floods. You can just like build in a way that makes floods like less bad.
You can hope to redirect some of them. That's really the best that you can do.
Redirecting into like open floodplains, like we have regained so many floodplains nowadays.
Like, the problem with floods in the U.S. does a lot of our problems have to do with debris flows.
Yes, and that was actually the debris flow was actually what caused that flood. Hold on, I'm going to show you. I'm going to find.
We have so many of them; it's scary. Because of all the old forests and whatnot, they end up plugging a lot of our the methods that we use to limit floods.
Yeah, like
or cause our systems to fail.
That's like literally what happened in the Ahrtal. Like, just pointing this out.
To the place that this happened in my hometown.
This was like the reason the Ahrtal was so bad compared to like literally 1 year later, like a record. Like there was a record flood in the Bliestal, like literally very close to where I grew up. And it was bad, and they also were there, and they're like, okay, we help, and we should, do stuff that doesn't get that bad. Like, the Bliestal is a very wide open region, and I know it just floods. That's just a thing. It just floods in the spring. It's just a thing. It does. It's just part of nature. This was just like a record flood, and some shit happened, but like, the reason the Ahrtal was so utterly devastated, like, was literally because of the debris. Like, just, like, look at this. Look at the fucking amount of just earth that's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know how devastating that thing was. Because, like, again, they had low bridges and all that, and, like, all of the
debris flows are insanely dangerous.
Yeah, the debris.
It's like people don't understand.
That's why they upgraded all the bridges, because like they wanted the bridges to be like higher, that the debris can flow beneath them, and that there's no clog up. And
the problem with debris flows though is like, there's not much you can do.
Again,
like the most that you can do is you can do preventative stuff to hope that they don't happen in the first place.
But that's basically
damage
what
mitigation for when they are like for preparing damage mitigation for them is historically not very effective. Unfortunately, it's because the thing is, especially if you don't take into account like the fact that debris flows have significantly more mass than a regular flood.
That is really it is really bad, but like the thing is more the thing is more in the case that like again, as I said, this is why they're building so many dams, because like debris is bad, but the more water you can actually hold back in the beginning, the more you actually the less impact a flood has on a region. And that's what they're doing right now. Like there's a lot of mitigation, and it can still turn bad, but again, the whole point of what currently is like in a big way happening in Germany is that mitigation through bridges, better building techniques for houses, but also crucially, again, making more space for the river or holding back water. So like even if there is debris, there is not the water that pushes the debris as much. And that's a big thing.
So we used to do that a lot. Especially in California. They did that a whole bunch. But the problem is California ran into like its long time of droughts, and because of some of the dams, because of a lot of the dams, a lot of the soil that was downstream of the dams, even though they were intermittently letting out water to make sure that, like, to manage things as best they could, the problem is that a lot of the soil became dry and unable to absorb water, which made floods worse. And, well, not necessarily just worse, but more easy to happen. And so that is one of the risks that you run with using a mass dam approach, is soil starting to dry out. I don't think you guys will have as much of a problem in Germany with that, because
We do have.
You probably do have a lot of like a decent amount of rain in comparison. But it is definitely like a cautionary thing that you need to be aware of. That you need to be like cautious of when building master runs.
I got two stories here because you just reminded me of something really funny.
Yeah.
Speaking of California droughts and rain.
By the way, I watched one of those floods in person, like where the water kind of like where the ground is so dry that the water just goes everywhere and doesn't go into the water and into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it's scary.
The thing I wanted to point out though, is like we don't actually had over the last decade that much rainfall. Like we had actually a pretty record drought until a few years ago when it started to actually rain a lot more. Like I think only in the last years did we I think the last 2 years before last year we actually hit our rain targets again. Then last year there was like a really big drought. Then it rained again, by the way. Like only now do we have some more rain, which is we had like pretty big droughts here in Europe. Just so you know, the thing I wanted to also point out about the R, which is actually very interesting. Like, I can't find the picture now, which is damn. There's actually like kind of interesting material of there's like a hiking path, and there's like one of those
kind of like short term, or do they kind of like, or are they long term ones? Are they short term droughts? Like,
they were a bit. They were long term. They were like literally over a longer time.
No, I mean so were the droughts intermittent droughts, or was it a consistent drought?
Oh, that was a consistent drought for years. Like we had a long problem with drought, especially in East Germany and North Germany. There was definitely 4 years a drought. Like that was not intermittent.
Those are the ones that cause the drying out of the soil.
Yeah, and again, only in recent years do we have how's it called? Only in recent years do we actually have enough rain again.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing is there's this hiking path with a wooden platform where you can just go up and have a nice view. And the interesting thing is you look at it and oh hey, you can see the river on the other side of the valley. Until people point out it wasn't on the other side of the valley. The flood was
had the drought started to affect the groundwater levels too?
Yep. It affected the groundwater levels. Again, they are now recovering in the last years again, but it was not during the 2010s we had a pretty bad drought actually. Again, it's just really the flood in the Ahrtal was really so fucking bad. It changed how the river ran.
Yeah, it's those kinds of droughts combined with a little bit of rain that can cause the debris flows and the massive floods. It's
actually I think the Ahrtal region is one of those where they didn't have the main drought problem. That was still more of a wet region. The thing is just this is just the kind of flood they have literally every 100 years. People went into the records and guess what? There was imagine going into the archives, just being wow, that was a record flood. Was there another one? And then you go back and you find from the fucking Kaiser site, literal pictures and video material of, well, this flood devastated the Ahrtal. Just hope it doesn't happen again. And 100 years later, whoops, same flood basically devastates the Ahrtal. And then and they're okay, but it didn't happen. And then they were there, 1806 or so, devastating flood in the Ahrtal. Quite literally always in the period.
Hang on, guys. I just won an award on another stream. We gotta restream the stream.
What? Why?
I just won a prize, apparently. Hold on. I gotta react to this.
Okay, what? Let me put it up, I guess? Please don't be... Okay, The storm's defined of 20 to... Okay.
Was here earlier. She's got to still be in here, right?
She's got to be here. Sprinkles has got. Tell me Sprinkles
Patrick
will be here.
Sprinkles,
Please, please, Sprinkles. Wait, where's Sprinkles?
Wait, was Patrick a prior winner?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, it goes to Patrick then.
Yeah.
Who?
There's dispute.
There's a dispute.
You guys figure it
no.
out. You gotta get the hell out of here. That
so
was
that's your stream where you
that
won.
was the best time I've ever had
Oh,
on a
no.
stream.
Patrick and Sprinkles are here. This is
where's the chat?
Chalk it up.
Damn.
All right,
You know
see you
what?
guys.
See you, Phil. You know what?
To fight
Here's what
Sprinkles?
we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. I don't know why that video is still playing. Hold on, there we go. We're gonna give it to both Sprinkles and Patrick. You get a 50, you get a
Damn it.
50, you get a 50, you get a 50. Both of you
Do I get a
are
50?
gonna walk home with a 50 bomb, okay? We weren't planning on giving away that much, but we're gonna do it. You know why? Because you guys are
Congrats,
the
Patrick.
chat.
You won.
Let's go. All right. Any reaction? Let's go ahead and welcome
Stormcase community seems pretty hype about
Dwayne
this.
to the show. Dwayne, welcome to the show.
Clapping for me. I thought we were clapping for that.
I don't have to fight Brady.
Clap it for
How
you.
is-
I don't have to fight Sprinkles.
How is Dwayne here? Let's go, Dwayne.
Not gonna have a fight
How you
in.
guys doing?
You need to
Whoa,
battle
you got
for it
some-
in the back of a Denny's parking lot.
Going
It's
on.
kind of interesting how we're just restreaming a stream about Storm Chasers right now because you just won.
What does that mean?
Congratulations
Oh, no.
on
I
winning.
mean, it means.
I don't know
I'm
what I
just
won.
saying. He's
Mason just
won.
texted me.
He's got-
I mean, I know you at least won 3
More
Nia
about the
awards
charts.
last year, so like that's
Yeah,
worth
Zora's off
something.
the charts. I agree. You know what? 10 points.
I have no idea what I just won here.
Dwayne, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Doing good. I just wanted to stop in.
You know what?
Want a sense of pride. and
Patrick, you
accomplishment.
won.
That's my boy.
That should be everything
I
you
just-
want, right?
I'll take it. I accept this award.
You're my boy, Blue.
Somehow.
Kevin
My goodness.
Now,
Somehow-
tell
this
us
is
why,
a-
though. You have to say why.
Boy, who's on this
Oh,
stream?
I think.
Boy, all the Storm Chasers are here tonight. Jordan Hall's here.
About the whole experience.
No one chasing storms. They're giving out press posers. They should chase storms.
Been my last tornado as like a professional chaser, at least full time. Like that will always hold a
Dale's here.
special place in my
Also,
heart, I
big shout out.
Hopefully
Oh
was
no,
amazing.
that
Lake
wasn't
City
Dale.
was amazing. I'd say for me, Lake City is third place. Had I been as close as Kopic was, I probably.
All right. Well, I'm not sure what I just won, but I think we can skip the rest of this stream.
Congratulations on winning at this weird intermission.
apparently, I just won something. We can go back to our regularly scheduled
Chat,
programming.
can we get a W for Patrick winning with a tornado photo? Like he catch that tornado, probably like
Was
with
that
a
one of
lasso,
your,
like the
Patrick,
old Texas method.
Is that one of your
Yeehaw.
sponsored ones or?
Hold on. They might need something. Hang on.
Oh.
Oh no, never mind. Okay, whatever. All right. Let me mute them. They'll ping me if they need something.
Probably. Still funny that this happened.
I don't. Apparently, I won $100 raffle. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But they're gonna split it. It's a $50 raffle now.
Damn.
So.
Hey, it's something. You can chat. What are good things to buy for $50?
I wonder if I can buy a Subaru for $50. I bet you can. I bet I could buy a Subaru.
You know what?
I'm sure you could.
You know what? The fact that you talk so much about Subarus, I'm genuinely surprised that your output in terms of indie games so far is boomer shooters, and not one attempt of making like a Subaru based Sega Rally style game. I'm genuinely surprised. It feels like so much up your alley to just be like, you drive like fast driving Subarus to catch storms or something, like catch that storm, and it's like ding ding ding, turn left, and like you have to like dodge traffic and all that and catch up to a tornado.
There are storm chasing games out there. They're all terrible. None of them are any good.
I mean, then make a good one. Like you can
here's the
make
thing,
games and storm chasing.
The only way to make a good storm chasing game is if you make it like a dad game. You know what I mean? A game that's like fully like a storm chasing
Like
simulator.
Flight Sim.
The kind of game that would put you to fucking sleep unless you were like extremely autistic. You know, that's the correct way to make a storm chasing game. It needs to be a dad game.
I know exactly what type of a game you're talking about.
You know what I
My dad
mean?
is the same. Yeah, my dad is the same way about Flight Sim.
Yeah,
He hasn't
exactly.
played
Like
in a long time, but he had he had a joystick. He had all of that like nice stuff, and he just kind of sat there and flew planes sometimes.
Damn.
Yeah, that's exactly what it has to be. It has to be a dad game.
It's kind of so funny to me when I'm like thinking, okay, how could you make like storm chasing into a game? And like my dumb idea is like literally, the action parts are like, quite literally like Sega Rally style. Someone tells you where to drive, and you just have like drive there fast. It's like this arcade racing game. But then in between you have like just kind of a visual novel thing of oh hey you're making stuff for YouTube and with a friend. That's just
I have the idea. But you're essentially making the American Truck Simulator of storm chasing instead.
American Truck what is American Truck Simulator?
You don't know about the Truck Simulator games?
Truck Simulator. Yeah, that's thing. I know. Sorry, I know European Truck Simulator.
Yeah. There's
People
European
like
Truck
to
Simulator and there's American Truck Simulator.
Yeah, sorry. It's like I know. Just there's a difference between European and American trucks because, like, on your end, it's like there's just this long stretch of highway and your car, and then like here, it's like you start in like Glasnow and you want to go to Bad Lichtenhalle, and it's just that's it. There's no long stretches of highway. It's just the very boring, there's just forest and sometimes a town, and then there's forests, and you stop at like a highway rest station, and in there, it's a bit overpriced. The food is just, kind of mediocre, but you don't know if it's kind of bad, and the person that you pay at is very fucking rude to you. That is the European truck experience. Yeah, I think maybe you should. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, Patrick. What would be better? A game that arcadifies a little bit of the situation, makes it more a story-focused game, or like quite literally just drive around and find storms and have to record them?
Yeah, and look, an arcade experience could be fun, because like, listen, process of storm chasing itself is like, it's mostly driving. Like it's mostly like you commit to it. It's just like storm chasing is like mostly driving through Texas. Like 95% of storm chases is like, we're driving from San Angelo to Amarillo, and this is going to be an 8-hour drive. And it's mostly just listening to podcasts as well, driving to Amarillo. Like that's pretty sure most of the miles I put on my car this summer were driving between like Amarillo and like Fort Worth. Like
the only exception and or modification to that is hurricane season.
Oh yeah, no, hurricane season. Like I didn't even. There were no landfalling hurricanes this year, and you know why? Yeah. It's because Trump came into office and got rid of Joe Biden's weather machine. That's what happened. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, there was no landfalling hurricanes in the United States this year, so couldn't even do that. But yeah, during hurricane season, it's mostly driving through Georgia, or Florida, I guess. But like, yeah, storm chasing, mostly driving in Texas. And there I have
this idea of like a game of like this one storm season that changed everything, and it's like you make your own character, and by the way, you have like this you have a cat that drives with you because the cat just likes the cats are just like going everywhere, like on bike tours or like with truck drivers. It's that a cat with driving with you and a partner, and you just have like an epic adventure. It's like Persona style, like you go from day to day to day. That stuff happens, like oh shit, you wake up one morning and it's like someone stole your catalytic converter. What do you do now?
That happened to me once.
The year that needs to be set is 2012. Aztec Death Calendar.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I hate the idea so much that this is actually a good idea. Yeah, you could definitely make like a, you could definitely make like a really
Look, if Hollywood could get away with making multiple movies about like the 2012 Death Calendar stuff, then you can get away with a storm chaser game that's like the prelude to the end of the world, and you're just chasing storms until it ends.
I mean,
or you save the world somehow, like.
I mean, like, you could make one of the boss if you're going Arcadian, like Crazy Taxi level arcade. You could make a boss of a Sharknado.
Nah.
Maybe.
Nah. I probably keep it more a bit grounded, like arcade driving and stuff like that. But like,
I mean, here's the thing about like, if I were gonna make a storm chasing game, the focus would almost certainly be on the driving because like, here were the things I encountered in storm chasing that like I kind of didn't expect, but like, the best storms so some of the more interesting. Okay, so storms tend to like not move in like straight lines, right? They tend to move on diagonals, and they don't care what the surface terrain looks like. They just go, right? So like I chased a tornado on June the 20th and a tornado on May the 26th, and like the June. First of all, that June 20th storm, total whiff for me, by the way. I should have been in North Dakota that day because that was the first EF5 tornado in 13 years. And here I was chasing a storm in South Dakota like an idiot. I chased a little Sidewinder tornado instead of the biggest tornado that this, state's ever seen in a decade. But anyways, here I'm chasing this stupid Sidewinder tornado, and I get to a patch of like it was on the Montana side of like the Black Hills and like the Wyoming side, and like there was no well, I mean, hey, it's beautiful country out there. It looks like Scotland over there. And then like I get to the Black Hills, and like if you know anything about the Black Hills, there's like 4 roads that cross the Black Hills, and like 2 of them are made out of dirt. And the only options I had were the ones made out of dirt. And it's like, so I'm keeping pace with the storm, Boom, I just immediately have to cross all these shitty gravel roads that have been just rained on by this storm. And the only way to keep pace with it is to go on the most terrifying dirt road I've ever been in my entire life. And I just watch my storm get away from me as I'm trying to chase it across these mountains.
Yeah.
And I finally get it. Well, yeah, and I finally get across this stupid thing, and I'm driving like 120 miles per hour to keep up with this thing. No cops are watching this, I hope. So I finally catch up to it, and I finally catch up to it, and I cut the tail end of this little Sidewinder tornado because it planted down another tornado after it got over the mountains. So I got lucky when I caught up to it again. But then, tornado lifts. It was kind of cool to see it. And then, I pop on and check out what my friend John is doing. And John's up in North Dakota, and his car gets hit by a tornado. And it turns out there had been like 2 giant tornadoes before that, and then the big EF5 tornado that hit there. Again, biggest tornado of all time. But the thing that was interesting about all this is like this storm was moving on a diagonal, and all the roads, of course, move on a grid pattern out there. And then they suddenly don't move on a grid pattern, and you have to cross this just really, really rough terrain to get there. So like it was a driving challenge for me. It wasn't like forecasting the storm or because I thought, man, because there were like 4 routes I could take. I could take the zigzaggy dirt roads that went through the Black Hills to get to the other side of those mountains, or I could have dropped 50 miles south to the next paved road and then drove like 12 miles and then taken another paved road to go north to like do a big U shape around the mountains. That was the whole challenge the entire time. So like that's the kind of like calculus you have to make. It's like, do I take like 2.5 hours to get through these mountains, or do I risk it taking that like paved road south? And like in hindsight, I probably should have taken the paved road. Wouldn't have. I'm pretty sure I got a nail in my tire in on one of those dirt roads going through that terrifying mountain drive. But like same thing with that like cyclic supercell I chased from like Kim, Colorado down into Texas. That one there were just no roads there. Like the storm went over a patch of land where it's just like it's Texas. There's nobody there. It's because there's nobody there. There's just no roads there. Like there was no way for me to follow it. So it's like, all right, well, guess I'm gonna drive through the Oklahoma Panhandle, up through the Texas Panhandle, and then into Kansas again to catch the storm. Gonna drive 150 miles out of my way to catch this thing. just gonna have to go do that. And that's what the game would be about, right? The game would be mostly about like driving, because you never know when you're just gonna have to like drive through Texas randomly to get to some place in the middle of Kansas. Like roads out here are like that. Sometimes you just got to drive through 3 states to get to another state that's like next to the place you want to be. The country I live in is absolutely huge. But
also a lot of our borders are not very good at they're not really meant to be crossed.
Well, except when you're a storm chaser, I guess, then you just like barrel through them. That's the plan.
Oh, it's so funny. Sometimes, like, it's really funny when you cross state lines, you'll encounter, like, a really well-maintained highway, and then the highway will just turn to shit. Like, this happens a lot when you're in Colorado and Wyoming. Like, you'll be driving, ooh, this highway is well-paved, it's nice, there's no potholes. Cross into Wyoming, highway just turns into shit. It's just like, oh, paved road, dirt road. It's like, man, Wyoming spends. I mean, look, Wyoming sucks. They don't pave the roads because there's no income tax in Wyoming because they got to be free. They're libertarians up there. It's like, we don't believe in taxes up here. We also don't believe paving our roads up here, even though we're like the second snowiest state in the union. Nope, don't pave our roads, fuckers.
To be fair, the snow removal in Wyoming is hell.
That is true.
In a sense, it would cost an exorbitant amount of money to pave everything and maintain it with all the weathers.
By the way, can I point out that this was a stream that started where you wanted to a degree yap about your taxes, and now we're
still talking about taxes.
Oh, we do. I don't know, because kind of we were talking about how you could make like a storm chasing quote unquote indie game, or how crossing country borders is actually like really hard to catch up to.
Fair. I gotta step away from the mic real quick. I got a food delivery coming in, but when I come back, I gotta tell you guys about Charles Hatfield. Remind me to do that. I'll be right back.
I hope I don't forget that. Yeah. Oh God,
I mean, the thing is, in DC, we don't have too many natural disasters. We have the occasion. We have like.
I mean, you have wooden pipes.
Probably. Yeah. Well, we have probably about 1 tornado a year. Sometimes a little more. It depends.
I mean, that's fine. Like, you know what? I don't think a region shouldn't brag about. We have so many natural disasters. Like, okay,
but
cool.
But like, the most that we have really is like our most significant disasters are the thunderstorms. We have like really bad thunderstorms, and like the winds and lightning from them get pretty terrible for a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And then we'll have like the snowstorms on top of that on like every like 8 years or so we have a really bad snowstorm.
I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'm still kind of pissed because I sprained my foot due to some idiots not making their ways like safe enough.
Yeah, y'all in Europe need to like learn proper snow clearing like behaviors.
That makes no sense that we had snow before. It's only with climate change that it stopped snowing all the time.
What I want to say, also the thing I want to point out, like again, we had enough snow. There is a law, and like even then, on a lot of times on most of the paths we walked, it was either nicely compacted or just removed. Just this idiot didn't do anything. Like quite literally, they just didn't do the thing they had to do by law, which made it like dangerous. And the thing is, I hate about it because like yesterday I kind of limped to the pharmacy, and you know what? It was not a problem, mostly because the fucking snow is gone now. And I hate it because I like snow, and I wanted to actually have more midnight walks with Agonia in the snow because that's really fucking cozy and nice, and I wanted to enjoy that, and I was fucking robbed a whole week of snow by a dipshit that couldn't actually follow the law. Sorry, that I just had to vent out because it makes me very, very angry.
The way that the laws are set up in the U.S. regarding these kinds of things is if you're in charge of maintaining a sidewalk and someone slips and falls and gets injured because of the thing, you can sue them for damages.
Yeah, same here. Technically,
and it's not even expensive to do that because we have a whole industry of personal injury law practices that don't charge you shit until you win, and then they'll just take a piece of the winnings.
You know what? Maybe we need that here as well. I mean, it can backfire to a degree, but it would definitely have a bigger incentive on people.
But so like a lot of the law firms that do that kind of stuff, like it's very rare for it to backfire on us here because the firms have in their contract saying like, if we don't win, we don't charge you money, or we charge you like a very minimal like amount of just like procedural fees. So like they may charge you like the fees for like the court fees and stuff, which it's not that expensive. I mean, it can be quite expensive if you're not doing too well money wise and you're trying to pay for expensive healthcare stuff.
I totally get that here. Like, I mean, for me at least, it was just I was sitting there like here's the thing: if I was actually picked up by an ambulance, like as on one hand I could actually pay that shit, they would have needed to cover that. Like the ambulance drivers would be like, well, you slipped here. We see what happened. They're toast. That's true. Like, I just... maybe really should have sued them to a degree. I don't know. But yeah, we don't have that industry here. But yeah. In general, just like, it's just annoying, you know? I lost a week with snow.
But yeah, no, it's like, for the most part, just about everyone here in the U.S., regardless of whether it snows like half an inch or an inch,
you don't need to repeat that. We know it.
Well, yeah, but like if we haven't put down salt ahead of time, then we are 100% shoveling the next day or in the morning when it's snowing.
Again, I wanted to say that most people do that here as well. Like again, most of the sidewalks were fine. It was just this one person that was just like, well, I guess I'm just not doing it, and.
Yeah, it sucks when like the one person that doesn't like comply with the standard stuff or waits too long, just doesn't like it ends up causing problems. Like the only so even for me, like I live in a relatively like off the regular path neighborhood where not many people like if you're walking into my neighborhood, your destination is inside the neighborhood. You're not walking through it normally. So we don't have too much foot traffic in front of the house, which means that we can do with being a little slower. But even then, we still do it like the day of.
It's just good practice.
It's like the obvious thing.
It's just good. Yeah.
You clear the snow. It's going to become more of a pain if you leave it there.
Like I remember when back when I still lived with my parents, like it snowed. They were like, well, someone gonna go shovel. And, like, I mean, I usually did it for our neighbors as well because they were, like, old people and they were always like, thanks. And it gave me money. Yay. Side income. Oh, well. I wanted to say about it. Oh, yeah. We have good Yuri anime this season. There's gay shit happening. Has everyone heard the good news? We have a good Yuri anime this season.
Which one?
Roll over and die.
Let's see.
It's really good. Like I think the best part about it is it's just a normal show. It's not like treating any of it as special. It's just adventure girl saves turbo trauma girl, and it's completely played as all the other fantasy stories, and it's good because it's girls. Again, I think I said this yesterday already. I'm kind of amazed how bad most heterosexual romances in anime or like generally media are. Like, those are written by heterosexuals. Like, the one thing you should be good at, and you're failing at it. How the hell does that happen? By the way, this was more of a rhetorical question, like, not like...
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, like, you when you have that many stories, you're going to get a lot of bad ones, and you're going to have
I don't know. It's just like
number of good ones. And I think that the problem is a lot of the good romance stories, they just tend to not be like, they don't get the same level of attention on an anime format as they do in other formats.
Yeah, I guess we need to have the next isekai where the main protagonist just owns slave, but like it's fine because he's a nice person.
I mean, that's an entirely different can of worms, right there.
I know it just happens a lot.
That's like that's like you're studying math, and then all of a sudden we're talking about like science, not science, but I'd say like social studies or something like that. I don't know. It's.
You've forgotten he needs to be.
I understand what you're trying to say.
You can't forget he will also be accused by a woman of raping her or something.
You know, and then you have shows like the level of the assassin obviously exceeds the hero, where just like somewhere during like episode 4, it's like, well, I love Amelia, you know, Amelia, not Emilia. They're both white-haired elf girls, but they're definitely distinct because Amelia has no character whatsoever, which is. I have to. I need to be really nice here. That is actually a unique trait. Like over the last year, 2 years or so, there were a lot of anime that really wanted to sell me on white-haired elf girls, and they did because those were generally good white-haired elf girls. And then Amelia comes along and it's just like, what if I was just bland? And I'm like, wow, that's actually refreshing for a change.
Yeah. You want the logic behind your conundrum, right? Like your little issue right there? White-haired elf girl is so fucking standard as a design that they need to use the personality to differentiate.
I know, it's just like, we got like a bunch of really good ones back there. Like, obviously, it started with, like, there was ReZero Emilia, then there was Frieren with Frieren. Very good. Yes. Then we still had Minogra last year with Atu. Atu was, honestly, Atu's great. She's
not an elf, but yes.
Elf looking. She's visually she falls in the same category.
She is a sludge that is, if I remember correctly from her lore, she was an elf that became a sludge or whatever. I forget exactly what it is. But like she transformed.
Good to know.
She like. Yeah, so there is a history of at one point she was.
Let me just put it like this: she looks like a white-haired. She looks like a white-haired elf girl, and then she can also be monstrous, which is good.
There was also the elf girl that remember the demon lord thing, the mage guy. I know, mage guy with red robes who's a demon who's like you know
what? Sorry, I don't know this.
Nephilia.
I know. This one I really don't know.
Let me find her.
It's just like I generally was like I was baffled last year, just like how bland Amelia was. Like generally that show just like it's so funny because like in the first episode, and I kid you not, everyone, because the show just has this rushed problem. Like in the first episode or so, you have like the protagonist being like around with the
her in the anime chat.
Okay, with like the captain of the guard. I have not seen it, but like, yeah, that's a cute floppy air design. Cute one.
She is very cute, and the relationship with the main character that she's in is very adorable.
Yeah, but like,
and they also the guy kind of adopts a little girl.
Oh.
And not in like a romantic way, but in like a I have a daughter now.
I mean, you said adopted, not
like
abused.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some people use Unfortunately, some animes have this problem where the main character kind of adopts a lolly, and then also the lolly catches like romantic feelings or whatever.
Okay, genuinely, really why?
That only works if the small girl is actually an adult. And I mean, like, for real, not just saying it, but like, she is an
like
adult.
also behaving like one, but like they don't usually. So
yeah.
Anyway, the point I wanted to make, by the way, is like, but by the way, like, really, like my level as the assassin exceeds your, like, the anime has like a rushing problem, but it's so funny because like the first episode you see him like hanging out with the captain of the guard, and you're like, oh wow, those have good chemistry. Like, is that the main? The guy dies. Quite literally, at the end of the first episode, the protagonist, has the most chemistry with ever. To the point I was like, oh, they're going for the yaoi road, right? It's even the same design. Just fucking dies, and like 2 or 3 episodes later, he just declares, well, I now see this elf girl as so close family. I love her, and I can't let her be harmed. Like, you have done nothing. You both have done nothing. There's nothing. There's just you cannot just declare to be there a relationship with you both doing nothing.
Remember when they encountered, like, she was encountering pursuers alone with the demon princess, I think.
I guess.
And she was like, okay, I'm gonna kill them. Okay?
Yeah.
So fine, so normal. And the demon princess was like, no, I don't want to see this. Next up, the overarching plot point of the assassin not necessarily wanting to kill people comes up again, and she's like, no, don't kill people. It would be bad for you. It will change you forever. It's like, no, it doesn't. I'm sorry.
You know what?
That's not how it works.
You know, the worst part is that then, like, literally one of the daughters of the demon queen enters the group, and
I literally talk about her right now. And my point was that Emilia just changes her stance on it's fine to kill people that want to kill you to I don't want my beloved assassin thingy to kill others.
Unfortunately, that whole like perspective and thought process has been what's the word?
Cut.
It's not corrupted, but it's been misunderstood in the
because there was no thought process.
There was nothing. It's just
yeah. But no, I mean like thought process in writing is that basically like the reality's thought process is not that it magically changes you. It's that there is a certain trauma that you accrue from like ending someone's life.
Depends on the circumstance.
I guess.
Death.
And then it just becomes.
But the problem is that a lot of authors nowadays don't know how to write that.
I mean, yeah, like I get.
So they attribute it to a moral change.
Like under most circumstances, yes, it does.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. The point is that she was fine with killing people. Just now that she's reminded that there is the overarching story point of him struggling to kill people, because that's how the author set it up, she was like, oh, don't kill people.
Yeah.
Like,
and like,
Emilia, have consistency, please.
And it doesn't help
that...
Unfortunately,
there's like a... what's the thing called? It's like the hero of the story. Like, there's like an issue with having the hero of a story kill people, where it on one hand it's a problem regarding ratings and sales, and on the other hand it's a problem of sometimes authors get too in their heads about their own characters, and that they essentially are like they leap through unreasonable hoops to make sure that their character doesn't get compromised or whatever.
Welcome back, Patrick. Yeah,
I get it, but it's weird.
Probably.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What are we talking about?
Welcome back, Anya.
We're talking about the failures of authors to write people properly.
But also, like, I want to also point out that the dumbest thing that happens in the show is, like, as earlier said, one of the daughters of the Demon King joins the group, and she just outshines everyone in character. Like, she has character with, as with the main protagonist. No one has any connection to this guy. He's just insanely bland. Not even like in the whole he rejects everyone. Just he's boring. Like, she has better connection to the main love interest. She has better connection to the sidekick monster. She's sidekick. She just has like character in general. Like there's a very fun bit about her that she tries to be an idol, which is a bit weird in like a fantasy world. But like, you know what? The bit is at least funny because sometimes she just does things like, you know, she deduces things really fast. Like she's actually really smart, or like actually can outmaneuver people, but then just stumbles over herself because then someone is like, for example, hey, can you please at least say you stayed here? And she's like, nope, sorry, idols don't give autographs. And then she just fumbles everything because of her own. Like, I can't do that. I have to be an idol one day. And you're just like,
to be fair, this is a world where lots of people from Japan were summoned. So
I guess, yeah, you know, the typical thing. But it's at least funny because, you know, it's like her moral code is wanting to be an idol, which makes her just fail all the time. And you're just like, God, you were so close to just having like a clean triumph, and you just fumble it. I love you for that. Like, she's genuinely great, and I wish there was more of her. Like, she deserved that show more than anyone else. And yet the rest is so bland. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think I just get the sense that you end up watching like some of the trashier romance stuff.
You know what? We actually tried it because like the first episode was good, and then it just decided, you know what? How about I am so utterly painfully mid that, you know, you grit your teeth.
That's the same sense that I got.
Yeah, I don't know. We kind of committed to just watching more anime last season, and
I try and give every anime that I watch. Well, I try and give them like what's the word? 2 or 3 episodes. And I've only ever had one anime where I didn't even give it the full episode, and that was like the trashiest of trash isekai stuff.
I think for us it's more like if we start with one, we kind of want to finish it. The thing is, I think this is probably also why I'm currently like pushing out the new season of Oshi no Ko, because like the last one already just got kind of boring to me, and like. Yeah, we're gonna watch it at some.
The story is a little bit more interesting in the 3rd season arc. Like the 2nd season arc, the peak there is the realization moment from one of the characters, and then everything else aside from that is kind of like it's like a side dish to it. If I were to describe it, in
I think
terms, the main course is that realization moment.
I think the main problem I have is just to make it clear. The problem I have with the, you know, a season is more like, you know, when you watch a show and you're like, oh, I want to watch that. Okay, you want to watch it every week until it's done. That's like 12 weeks. The problem is now, you can just kind of fumble into this, that, you know, you start a show, like for example the first episode is good, and then the second one's also like, you're not so good, and then you just realize, oh god, it's mid, and now you're committed, and it's like, okay, I need to watch that every single week, and that kind of can kill shows. And so like I'm just like, I know I want to watch Oshi no Ko with Agonia. The problem is just like, if it turns into a hate watch, I do not want it to be a hate watch where I have to tune in every single week. I want to watch it in one go and be happy. Like, that's also why we're kind of skipping My Hero Academia now, because it will just be a hate watch.
So hold on. I actually have some context for you. Oshinoko season 3 will. I think it will probably be something that devolves into a hate watch. I agree with you on My Hero Academia because I know the stories for both, where they'll go. I think even if it doesn't, I think you're better off binge watching both of them.
Well, with My Hero, I know, but Oshi, I'm just like, I think it comes down to Agonia. Because we can
wait.
Yeah, Oshinoko could go either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't know the story, then probably it's fine to
Probably. We just heard it like really dropped off at the end, like hard.
I think that some of the ending of Oshinoko is it's like Attack on Titan level divisive in the
so it's crap.
Okay, some context for my opinion here. The Oshinoko ending is understandable, but it's crap. And this is coming from someone who thinks that the Attack on Titan ending, and I mean the manga ending because I didn't watch the anime, was pretty decent. Like, it was a shitty ending, but it was a good shitty ending. Because ultimately everything Eren did was useless. Which I think is a good message. Because it basically says, yeah, fascism sucks. You're just gonna screw up again. And so, from someone who thinks that the original Attack on Titan ending was okay, the Oshinoko ending was disappointing.
Wow. I'm looking so forward to that. Damn.
It is worth knowing how it ends, though, I will say.
Just so that I know. Like, I'm definitely curious about it. I can say though, I'm so happy that we have a second core of Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. That show is amazing. By the way, if you want to watch one anime this season, watch Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. That show is a trip. It is so good. Unironically. Like,
so far, my recommendations for this season are My Hero Academia, Vigilantes.
Yeah, good that you added the Vigilantes. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, if you're into comic books, Vigilantes is the show for you. The Fate show is great. Scum of the Brave is pretty solid. Not to be confused with Sentenced to Be a Hero, which also is pretty damn good. Let's see. So those ones, and then I'm just looking through the list of names this season.
I mean, I can just list my ours this season, and it's like very easily Roll Over and Die. Good lesbians. Watch the lesbians, everyone. They need the good ratings and watch views for more lesbians.
Holy Grail of Eris is good. It's one of those villainous anime, but it's like you have a goody two shoes girl who is basically like
forced to be evil.
She's not forced to be evil, but an unfairly executed villainess who, by the way, this goody two shoes girl, she was like front row to seeing this lady's head chopped off when she was like 5.
Oh.
Yeah. And then, like, 10 years later, she meets the ghost of this lady, and she's now helping the lady, like, get revenge or whatever.
Oh, it's actually something.
Because now she's being haunted. It's solid. I like
it's something. It's probably definitely more of an interesting setup. But yeah, I think the one I will say, watch Roll Over and Die. It has lesbians. Do I need to say more? It has good lesbians. And, okay, you know what? Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider also has a lesbian. A very unhinged one. She's amazing. She fucks up her brother and is angry. She's just amazing, actually.
If you want to see some, like, it's... I don't know how to describe it very well, but it's like... I think it's... I want to say it's kind of like an action wuxia adjacent one. Is Hell's Paradise. The second season is out this season.
I heard that Hell's Paradise is good. Would need to catch up on it.
It's really good. Unfortunately, I don't know how it ends because I think it was around when COVID started, I paused reading the manga and I just never ended up picking it back up because ADHD is like hits me like that. And I think I was literally like 30 chapters from the end of the story. And it was like just far enough to not know how it's going to end, but also know what direction it was going. So but I do recommend Hell's Paradise. It's a very solid show. If you want like a silly, almost Gooner type thing to watch, Change Soldier is pretty silly. And then I did hear good. I did hear like good. I think it's yaoi adjacent. Isekai Office Worker is one of those.
You know what? I don't think we need to go through the full list. Actually, like we have a lot already.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not going through the full list. I'm just like picking the. I'm just like talking about the ones that stood out.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is among like, for like 40 or 50 different anime. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I know I brought this up yesterday already, but have you seen they're making a new Votoms anime?
I saw that. I saw the trailer for it. Like I saw the trailer for it yesterday morning.
Yes.
And look, I'm not a big mecha person. I might give it a shot.
I mean,
I might give it a shot.
It's from Production IG, director. And the director is Mamoru Oshii. Like,
yeah.
For everyone who doesn't know,
that's those two things are why I'm giving it a shot. I'll give it an episode to catch my attention.
That's by the way. That's for everyone who doesn't know. Oshii is also the director of Ghost in the Shell, like the movie and shows. So like, yeah, that's like high caliber material there. I just want to point that out. It's kind of amazing that they just dug up Votoms. Like, holy shit!
I don't know if you saw me talking about it, but they've basically hinted that they're bringing back Fist of the North Star. Like there was a teaser that suggested they were bringing it back.
Which studio?
And in like, let me find it.
Is it David Productions? Because I feel like it would be fitting if it's David Productions. Oh yeah, I kind of wanted to ask that, by the way. I know a lot of you do not.
SNK Japan posted the thing about it.
SNK Japan. Yeah, okay, that's just Okay, I want to ask one thing.
That's a publisher, I want to say.
Since I know a lot of you do not know Votoms, so it was more like,
video game publisher.
Yeah, I know SNK is a video game publisher, so like,
it's either Fist of the North Star or Fatal Fury. It's one of those two.
It is Fatal Fury because SNK it's theirs.
Yeah.
The thing is just like, I know people don't know Votoms. I'm like, I would like, do we want to maybe bring back community watch evenings and we could like watch the original Votoms? Otherwise, I just show it Agonia privately. But I'm like, would people be interested in like quality 80s mecha shows?
I'm gonna drop in.
Okay. What did you drop it? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
But I'm also like excited about things like the new Nanoha anime that was announced. There's a cute it's kind of romance, but it's like it's called, I think it's called something along the lines of like the two who smoke behind the convenience store. It's a pretty cute story.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, Patrick. By the way, you wanted to talk about a certain guy.
Oh yeah, I was reminded of a story. I was reminded of a story earlier. All this talk about flooding and dams, things getting moist that aren't supposed to be moist. Hold on, let me find it. A story about a guy. Right. Story of Charles Hatfield. This reminded me of something. Fun. It's a fun little anecdote. Well, it's not an anecdote. It's not actually an anecdote. It's just a fun story. I was just reminded.
Fun story.
Fun story. Yeah, not actually an anecdote. Just a story I heard. True story. So like Southern California like has always had just like a history of like drought and like not getting enough water. And like back in like 1915, they're having a real bad time. And so there's this crank, this guy called Charles Hatfield. He had a weather machine. He had all these big buckets. He'd pour chemicals into them. He was a rainmaker. Like he was a guy who's like, I could bring my weather machine out and I'll make it rain. And he'd come out to farmers' fields and he'd pour a whole bunch of chemicals into his buckets and just release a whole bunch of steam into the sky. And he'd be like, "That'll be $200 for the rain." And obviously it wouldn't rain because it was a crank and it didn't actually work. Obviously,
modern day snake oil.
Yeah, but I mean, like, back then you could sometimes grift people if it did happen to rain. So City of San Diego is like, shit, we need some rain here, guys. So we're gonna hire this Charles Hatfield guy, and make it rain. So they hire him. He comes out, pours all his chemicals and shit into those big old buckets, and it's more like a symbolic gesture because it's not that much money. I mean, I guess it would whatever, and it does all the stuff. Obviously, what happens next is the biggest and most significant natural disaster in California's history happens immediately afterwards. Rain for days, floods out like all the dams, kills a ton of people. Like, just absolutely wipes out all the dams up that specific canyon. Just devastating. And Bro's like, "You got to pay me for all this water." And then, of course,
that is one hell of a thing to do.
I mean, it's like, and of course, City of San Diego.
It's bold. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah,
City of San Diego's like, well, maybe we gotta hold you liable for all this damage you caused, then, huh? So that's the real question: is do we hold the Rainmaker liable for all the damage, or do you pay him for the water?
Well, then you get into the slippery legal slope of it's like attributing I forget exactly what it is, but it's something along the lines of,
I heard about this story, by the way.
Attribution of potential gains or losses, or attribution of value. That's what it is. Attribution of value towards uncertain promises. There's a weird legal gray zone there that honestly we probably don't want answered.
I don't know, maybe. Well, it's just like, I think I heard about that actually. But like, I think California always has like weird people. Like, there was also a guy who just like at the brink of civil war just declared himself Emperor of America, and everyone in like, I think San Francisco was just like, I guess, let's run with it. But also, he was like a staunch like libertarian and abolitionist, and advocated for social justice and against corporations, and like most of his like decrees were printed in like black-owned newspapers. So like, wild stories. Like, yeah, he just declared himself Emperor of the United States. Everyone in San Francisco was just like, yep, that's just our Emperor of the United States. Oh yeah, sorry. Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico. That was the full title.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with that story, it's unclear how much of that was people pandering to him and how much of that was like genuine backing. I lean more towards the thing of people pandering to him just to like not deal with his bullshit.
I don't know. Like, I mean, here's the thing. In the end, I would say, if you do it because it's part of the bit, or you actually stand behind it, because again, like, I think a lot of considering he basically was like very pro civil rights, and was mostly printed in black-owned newspapers. It's like, you probably know in which communities he was probably more supported actually in what he did. Like, they were in on the bit, but he also were standing behind the values. And like, probably a lot of others were just like, he's a funny guy, I guess we just accept the funny guy, And then the funny guy was still able to say, hey.
Like, oh yeah, there's probably also people that were like, oh, backing this guy costs us basically nothing, and if he somehow succeeds, it wouldn't be bad to kind of be on his nice side.
And then he just dropped that one day, which is sad, actually. Okay. You know what? Just to round this one out, because we're going a long time and we should probably slowly end, because like tomorrow I actually need to get back into killing yokai. Hopefully. My leg hopefully doesn't hurt as much anymore. Shit, I need to upload my gay stuff. Oh, I forgot to do that. Anyway. But Agonia just went through like a list of, I think, Yuri manga, like good ones. And I'm still supposedly. I know supposedly is good because like I saw Citrus on there. I'm like, no. Get this filthy shit off lists. Period.
Hold on. My one forgiveness I will ever give Citrus is that it's funny to laugh at it.
It's
okay, no, but that's not the intended way. Okay, it's a bad Yuri manga.
Oh, it's so bad. It's you know what?
I have given like the first couple arcs of Citrus like 2 hate reads. It's a generous amount of time that I've spent reading that.
Yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, Citrus is it's actually written. It's a Yuri manga written by a person that is actually not a lesbian, so it's terminally sourceless. Like
you can write stuff like that without,
Let me put it like this: it technically checks a lot of boxes on the the typical lesbian pervert scale. Like, it's basically 2 sisters that became sisters because their parents married and they hate each other, but then they fall in love with each other, and it's the most boring shit possible. Again, you're doing the whole lesbian incest setup, a thing that so many lesbians have done before, and again, terminally sourceless. It is incredibly flavorless. There's no spice. Like, if a lesbian manga was British food, it would be Citrus.
The only spice in Citrus is a spice that is artificially created through a faux NTR type attempt, which didn't even do it well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know what? That's trying to be gravy, but it's not gravy. It's just flour with water and some food coloring, and you're like gravy is off.
We hate watch the anime, and it's like I don't know how many times the main pairing learned talking helps, immediately forgot to learn it again.
It was a waste of workforce. This
is not even like, let's add a bit of drama. Like, no, these people, the characters you have written are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You know what? I repressed that. I fucking repressed that memory. That's how shit it was.
It is so utterly shit. Genuinely, the only reason why this.
I remember. This is that storyline brought up memories of all of the fucking amnesia stories that I've read. I fucking hate amnesia stories. I can kind of accept ones where it's like, oh, you have amnesia in the very beginning, you're starting from like whatever. That I can like ignore. But when you give a character amnesia in the middle of a story, it's like, low-hanging fruit. What the fuck? This is shitty. You're also destroying whatever progress, it's usually romantic progress, that happened in the story, and you're just...
I mean,
it frustrates me to no end.
You could technically execute it properly. Like, imagine they had like a bad start, and then one person...
Grimgar, the novels, later on, does it probably in the most acceptable way. Like, I don't like it, but it does it in probably the most acceptable way, in that there's a nefarious someone who literally wipes people's minds when they transfer worlds.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean more like imagine like characters. Maybe they were just mean to each other or something. I don't know, and so they just have a bad start. They kind of start making up and start developing feelings for each other. One person gets amnesia. You could make something with that. Okay? You could. It's just
and then you have the weird fucking starts of like Domestic Girlfriend.
Do
you know how that starts?
No. But like, can I just say
the first episode? Hold on, I want to outline the first episode of Domestic Girlfriend and how crazy it is. The first episode is that a guy has a teenager has a one-night stand with a classmate of his. Next day, that classmate is his new stepsister because their parents just got married. Probably overnight when they were doing it, by the way.
Well, that makes no difference.
Not to mention that it gets crazier because the guy falls in love with his other stepsister, who also happens to be a teacher in his school. And also, they flip-flop between each other.
You know, it's weird.
Yeah, that is just high grade weird. Honestly, Citrus is just. I don't know what to say. Like, you know, when it's like, oh, Citrus made it bad. Generally, if you want to write anything like, oh, maybe I want to tackle this bad idea in some form, just do not do it like Citrus did it, because Citrus did everything bad. Like, Citrus
is bad trashy.
The thing is, like, the only reason this thing got big is because for some utterly incomprehensible reason, it was literally the only lesbian manga that was picked up in the West and published. We had nothing else, and I swear.
That's intentional by the author.
Yeah, by the way,
author while the author was not seeing very good sales in Japan.
Yeah, obviously.
So he was like, "Oh shit, I need to go where no one else is going right now," which is because at the time all of like the Yuri authors that were focusing on Japan, which is basically what almost all manga authors did, except for like very few like massive ones.
Yeah.
And then so the author was like, I'm not seeing success in Japan. I'm going crazy. Oh, there's a market no one's touching. Let's go there.
Yeah, like generally
somehow they fill it's literally just a power vacuum.
Yeah, literally. People were like, "Oh, hey, do you want to? There's this one manga, and it's like about two girls that love each other." I'm like, "Wow, I like girls loving each other," and like I read it, and it was so fucking bad. It made me consider heterosexuality. Like, I'm sorry, that thing is weaponized crap.
Careful, or they're gonna put it in conversion therapy places.
I was gonna say this. Wow, it's so bad it's conversion therapy. That's the endorsement that we just got here.
It's so bad.
How about the opposite? Like Cheerful Amnesia.
Bright and Cheerful Amnesia is absolutely fucking adorable, and you all should read it. Like, it is concentrated cuteness. I am not kidding you. Like it's like just you know, it's not a long one. It's more of a joke one. But basically, the whole premise is, girl is an accident.
Not accident. No.
No, what?
Something happened. It will be later revealed.
Okay, something happened. She loses her memories, and then it's like, what happened? And then she's like, there's this hot girl besides, and she's like, whoa, you're hot. I'm like, yeah, I'm your girlfriend. What? We're married.
They're not married.
No, they're just together, right? But she's like,
oh, I know which one you're talking about.
But he's just swooning over her, and you're like, yeah, we're actually in a relationship. And she's like, wow, this is amazing news. And she's just ultra happy about her girlfriend all the time. She's like turbo gay for her. And, you know, the fact that she can just relearn everything.
I didn't like that. So I liked that one initially, but then I started to not like it because it didn't feel like, it felt like progress kind of reset it at times.
Not really.
It wasn't as bad as Citrus.
I'm just saying that progress didn't really reset. She was just stuck at a certain point. I can see how that's annoying.
It felt like it felt like there was a loop, and it was like that.
Yeah, the persistent theme
not that I needed things to happen.
The persistent theme was basically that she doesn't remember how to have sex. Oh, right. Because apparently she had problems with that before, until she learned it. But since only she knows what made her understand, basically,
she has to relearn it.
She has to relearn it. That's the overarching plot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm happy we have like much better Yuri stuff nowadays. I will say, by the way, as much as I'm happy that we have stuff like Bloom Into You, great series. I actually have all Bloom Into You manga because, can I just point out the Chinese Bai scene is killing it with the spicy shit nowadays. Web novels, but good shit. Unironically, I think the Japanese Yuri game has like kind of stagnated. Again, roll over and die, great. Actually, good new concept. We need some more spice and trauma in the lesbian scene, but the good sheet is now from China. They're not just copying anymore; they're improving. They have learned all the tactics and they know how to hyper precise focus on all the good gay shit. By the way, we have a book channel on the community Discord, and I linked one of those novels, a site where one of those novels gets being translated, and it's really good if you want to read something this year. Reading, it's actually kind of like considered very good for you, especially when it's gay girls.
My problem with with a lot of the Chinese stories that I've seen, and especially like the webtoons, is some of the blatant propaganda that I see in it. And I know the problem isn't that it exists. The problem is that I know that the reason it exists is most likely in order to skirt censorship rules.
Yeah, it's either censorship or the person really believes it's one or the other.
Yeah.
The good thing is,
which is why there's only one Chinese webtoon that I'm reading right now that I'm still like enjoying, and funnily enough, it's a hetero one, and it's My Wife is from 1,000 Years Ago. That one it's a good read, and I think there's like a new chapter, there's a new post basically every couple days. I'm currently paused reading it just because I'm waiting for a good time to binge it.
Most of the Chinese output is pretty fast.
Yeah, they're kind of insane. I mean, you know what? You can have like whole sentences in one.
Still.
Yeah, like.
But Dragon Supplication Incantation is just words, no pictures.
It's great though. Dragon Supplication Incantation,
and since
it's a good one.
Since it plays in a fantasy world, there is no place for Chinese propaganda.
That's why it's kind of interesting how like a lot of them are just in unspecified world. There's also how's it called? My Food seems to be very cute. That's a good one. Also very gay. It has vampires. I basically know of it because Agonia's on a vampire binge.
I mean, have you watched Mayonaka Punch yet?
No. Don't tell her it has vampires. Because,
It has vampires, and it has a YouTuber girl who falls in love with... Well, the vampire and the YouTuber girl are in a romantical type thing.
Nice. I mean,
I heavily recommend it.
I think one of the last seasons had a show where
Second, how was it called?
Mayonaka Punch or Midnight Punch. It doesn't like the romance isn't like the focus of it, but it is like it is a heavily like the romance is a central item inside the story. It's more focused on it's a little bit more focused on them being YouTubers.
Okay, that's actually
not in the cringe way, but like in a we're having fun doing things.
Yeah.
I mean, have you actually seen how's it called? How is it called again?
Depends. What are you talking about?
The one where the lesbian streamer's girlfriend is being possessed by Cthulhu.
Necronomico.
Yes. At the Cosmic Horror Show. It's good. Yeah. There was an
that
anime.
One. I haven't watched that, but I'm aware of it. I may get around to watching it at some point, but it's not like a priority watch for me.
Yeah.
I do understand that it's probably really good. It's just
she's the main protagonist that's not boring.
She's just permanently angry. Like quite literally, her sanity score never drops because she's just perma angry. And then Cthulhu is just like sitting there with her big boobas and it's like, I think I do find you very hot. And she's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And you're like, oh god, this is so nice and toxic. Also, we have an absolutely, and I mean that, washed, middle-aged computer program scientist girl. And she's and she definitely also gets a lesbian relationship with another eldritch being.
It's not that explicit, but yes.
They're definitely gonna be a thing next season.
For me, when it comes to romance stories, it's like I'm very inconsistent in which ones I enjoy and like connect with. I feel like there's like some random element of the story that I need to encounter at a certain point that makes me want to latch onto it and read it more, because like the type of story like the romance stories that I've like consistently gone back and continued to love are ones like A Town Where You're From, which I have a love-hate relationship with the author of that, and Horimiya, which is like it's my eternal like top level romance anime / manga. I'm not saying that it like is the best romance of all. It's just my favorite. And then there's I will say one thing I tend to avoid a little bit is the ones where it's like toxic relationships.
But toxicity is the spice of life in lesbians.
It depends on the toxicity.
Okay, that's fair. But usually,
and
I'm sorry, but citrus made things like I guess traumatized me in some way.
I have a very easy way for you to not be affected by citrus in this topic. They don't have a relationship.
Yes. Also, let me be clear, okay? There's okay, toxic, okay? That's spice. That's interesting. Those are two people who will get together, okay? What citrus does, that's plague. That's poison. That's decay. It's the antithesis of toxic, okay? It is a destructive force that wrings the life force out of you, that you look at it and think there will be no more joy in life in girls kissing, because you've seen the abyss. You've seen the depths of how rotten
just wanted to stretch out the story further.
So they needed rotten.
So they needed the next misunderstanding. They're unable to talk about it. Until they talk about it to get the next misunderstanding.
Okay, well, a quick question. Where do you stand on Happy Sugar Life?
I have not seen that one.
Oh, you haven't seen that one? That one is insane.
Okay.
It's Yuri, but the Yuri is between I want to say I think the main. Hold on, let me get
it's kind of funny how we're currently sitting here and like we kind of wanted to end this a while ago, and now Patrick is just sitting here and be like, wow, those people are sure probably very passionate about gay shit.
Okay, hold on. The two main characters for Happy Sugar Life, the girls, are 16 and 8 years old.
Okay, that's weird.
The 16-year-old kidnapped the 8-year-old.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, you know what? You're not really selling shit.
I'm not trying to sell it.
What?
I'm trying to point out.
I would say that it's an interesting, fucked up premise.
It is
that manga anime. It got an anime, by the way. Basically the whole all but like the final arc, which is kind of short, got animated. It is insane.
But why?
Like literally episode 1, the girl has already been kidnapped. And the 16-year-old girl is basically like a mother-wife type thing. I'm not joking. It is insane. It's a short read, by the way. So if you are fascinated by how insane this story sounds, it's not that hard to read pretty quick. I think it's like 50 chapters.
Well, I like fucked up shit, so...
It is so fucked up. But it's like fairly well written. Oh my god. And the things that the main character gets up to because of her secret. I think you might like it, Agonia. Just because of how insane this girl is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably true. I like fucked
You
up
like
shit.
Gasai, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yuno is a classic. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, she's pretty basic.
Hold on. Let me show you something.
Like,
let me.
She's more than basic.
She's the basic yandere archetype.
No, she just raised the bar to her level. Then she became basic.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
There.
Where?
In the anime chat.
Anime.
That's the main girl, by the way.
It's literally just Yuno Gazai. Anyway.
Whip around the face, though.
Yes.
Anyway. Oh, you know what? Just to round this one out. What are you looking forward to this year in terms of video games?
Oh, video games? Ooh.
I mean, this is still a gaming channel. Like,
I've said before, I'm looking forward to well, I know Medieval 3 isn't happening this year, but Total War Warhammer 40K is most certainly happening this year. I think probably in the fall.
who knows?
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to. Technically, it's out, but the official release of 1.0 for Timberborn. I'm actually going to stream that probably. And then
sounds interesting. I heard of good things about
it's
Timberborn.
basically a beaver colony sim.
Yeah. I have a lot of games that I need to catch up first this year, which is kind of it's so bad because like someone I know.
Oh, the
like,
007 movie game, the James Bond game.
Oh.
Because it's the developers of Hitman are making a James Bond game, and from what I've seen from some reporters that I trust, well, from some games journalists that I trust, it looks like they're not like they're deviating in the way from the Hitman formula in the way that they would need to for a James Bond game, which has me happy. I can't say GTA 6 because we don't know when GTA 6 is going to happen.
Oh, sorry. Did I just put you on blast a bit with this question? Because Patrick just said, oh shit, so I'm like, did I put you a bit on blast with the question?
Oh, fuck. Oh, no, sorry. I'm keeping up with a guy in Minneapolis, and oh boy.
Oh, God. Yeah,
there's also
there's a live stream right now. They're beating this dude pretty. Oh man.
Oh god.
Yeah, I tend to avoid watching news because it does bad things to my head. But the last one I'm really looking forward to is the next Fire Emblem game, even though it is technically in the Three Houses universe, which I don't like Three Houses. and it's not because of the story. It's a tiny bit because of the characters, but mostly because of the gameplay of Three Houses. I'm not looking. I'm looking forward to it because it looks like they've taken a cue from what they learned in Engage in making the next Fire Emblem game. So I'm looking forward to those.
I haven't finished Three Houses. We played a while, and then I figured out how the systems work, and then it was very boring, grindy battles.
Yeah. That's the issue with Fire Emblem, is that the systems work in a particular way, and in order to keep the game interesting, you need a variety of battles that have that have different maps, different layouts for the maps, different objectives for the maps, and different. And it also helps to have more variation in unit availability.
I mean, all of that doesn't matter because all I'm doing is finding places where I can just grind points for my units in the battle.
So that's the problem with the maps in Three Houses. It's so easy to do that, and Engage was better about this. It did have some issue. It did have a number of issues with like the difficulty scaling and like bringing up characters who lagged behind. But they're in some sense that's a good side of it. Because it kind of discourages you. It does a number of things, which can lean either way depending on how you play the game initially. But for the most part, a lot of the fun in a lot of the Fire Emblem games comes from the differences in maps and objectives. Because some maps require a full wipe, some maps require survival for a certain amount of time. Some maps have in some games, not all games, have defense conditions. It's like you need to defend a certain number of things. Some of them have rescue conditions where you need to save NPCs. There's a wide variety of like things that kind of spice up the gameplay a bit by giving you different tasks to achieve. That Three Houses just kind of fails to achieve, while also simultaneously making the base event, like the stuff that goes on at base, in between maps, both give you FOMO and also feel tedious.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my critical review of Three Houses.
Well, Patrick?
Oh, sorry, what's up?
I was like, any game you look forward to this year? Because like, if I ask you now anything you look forward to this year, you can all say the fall of the Trump administration, which hopefully will happen. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, no, honestly, I'm not even thinking about that. I don't even know what's coming out this year, honestly. What are my options? Sorry, I'm watching the cops beat up some protesters right now. It's not great.
Oh yeah, it's. I also see it as like. Honestly, I mean, it's just kind of front loaded. Like, I mean, for me, February will be like there's Neo 3, Romeo's a Dead Man. I'm really looking forward to that. Resident Evil 9, and then there's Pragmata, and I'm still kind of waiting for Dawn of War 4. The thing is, I know there will be one game I might actually be interested in if I actually get to catch up on that series, because again, spoiler, if I'm through with the mountain of shit I'm currently working off on this channel, the plan is to get into Ace Combat, because someone told me like you know when someone says you like a series, like you will like this game series or this game in general.
Wait, hold on. You haven't played Ace Combat?
Yeah, okay. Okay, I need this.
How?
I don't know. I do not know why I have not played Ace Combat yet.
I've played one Ace Combat game, and it wasn't necessarily for me. But how have you not? You of all people.
I don't know. Genuinely, the guy that told me I should play Ace Combat told me, like, this isn't a game I'm sure you will like. He's like, I'm more surprised that you that you already have not played it and have been annoying everyone with it since you were 14. I'm like, okay, fuck, now I have to try it. And you know what the problem is? So I actually, I have 7 and 3, and by the way, 8 that's coming out this year is going to be a sequel to 7, but also a prequel to 3, which is why I kind of want to play 3 first. And the thing is, I put that thing in, I actually got a fan patch for the Japanese version. For anyone who doesn't know, the English, the English/European version of Ace Combat 3 is incredibly cut back. The Japanese version was released on 2 discs. And the European and American is 1 disc. They just cut out so much just to save on localization, because the game horribly flopped in Japan. Even though it is
I have one piece of commentary to make on this. You having Ace Combat but not having played Ace Combat is on the same scale as me owning the extended edition of Lord of the Rings and not having watched Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Hey, listen. I am playing Ace Combat this year. Okay, I already was looking into Ace Combat 3, how it runs on the emulator, and you know what? I was instantly hooked because just to know what Ace Combat 3 does on the PS1, it is a non-linear game with multiple endings, and it has fully voiced anime cutscenes. You have these mission briefings with where just they just talk to you and move, and it's.
I don't remember specifically about 3, but I know that Ace Combat has some fucking amazing music.
Yes, it's oh my god. Okay,
Yeah. Dream it.
I know.
I'm trying to think. What games are coming back to the question. I'm trying to think what games are coming out this year. Sorry, the stream is things are getting out of hand.
And I want to. You know what? Should I just put up the Ace Combat 3 openings just so you know why I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that's my jam.
I think Mouse isn't Mouse coming out this year.
Oh shit, yeah.
I think Mouse.
Is that the Disney or no? Sorry, no. Is that the Mortimer Mouse game?
No, it's the one that.
No, it's Mouse Private Eye. Is that the one? I believe that one is coming out here very soon. Yeah, June. I believe. No, June. Was that coming out? Hold on, Mouse PI. I think that's coming out soon. I think Luna Abyss is coming out this year too, right?
Could be.
That looked interesting. And then, if I remember correctly, Core Decay, isn't that coming out this year too? Maybe.
Luna Abyss is coming out. It doesn't have a date yet.
Okay. Mouse PI is coming out in March.
Oh damn! That sounds actually interesting.
Yeah, Luna Abyss is coming out. Core Decay doesn't have a release date. Okay, but Core Decay, I'm real excited for.
By the way, I just want to point out this is the Ace Combat 3 Japanese opening. Just if you all just look into the stream and listen to it for a bit, it's like.
Oh, hang on.
Just get the vibes. Do you also want to join, Agonia? Huh? I'm just gonna show the Ace Combat 3 intro and why I was
already saw it.
Oh yeah. I'm just I put that on. It ran on the emulator. I was
also, you wanted to stop.
We're doing after this, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just this is my shit. So let's just listen to it for a second.
Oh shit! They're remastering Dynasty Warriors 3.
You see why I mean? I was like, yeah, I need to stream that game. That's like just peak 90s.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I can see that.
Yeah.
By the way, I completely forgot about the 2 Star Wars games.
Okay.
There's a first-person, I think it's a first-person shooter Star Wars game, and then there's also, and it's not like it's like a single-player thing. And then there's Galactic Racer, which is not just pod racing.
Oh yeah, right.
It's racing and all those things.
Also, you know what? If we mention that the XCOM people are doing Zero Company, so yeah, if you like XCOM and Star Wars, that's for you. But yeah, for everyone who's wondering, that's literally why there will be Ace Combat 3 on this channel, because like, yeah, by the way, those animations, those are also in game. Like, they hired Production IG to just like animate all the characters, and you know what? You have a sidekick and they talk like someone who flies on your side, and she's best girl.
Right.
I mean, she's a what?
I hate to cut you off here, but I do need to go. Actually,
yeah, I want to also do this. Okay, you know what? Everyone, have a wonderful time. I know I overdid it just too much.
No worries. Thanks for hosting, guys. I'm gonna jump off too. Thanks so much for chatting here, my weird story.
See you all around.
Good talk.
Catch you guys next week.
Yep. Bye. And for everyone else, tomorrow, Neo 2. And now I need to end this one and make everything work again with Agonia, because I think that just needs to be dead. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.